since we're, not moving, we'll stay here for a minute, and we kind of have to anyway. And so we're streaming in the living room now because our office is torn apart and now our basement is also torn apart. So
nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
Sounds pretty.
Media. So, not it.
Not it.
Nope. No.
Kyle!
Come on.
Nope.
That's what you get when you sleep on the mic.
The hard pass. Okay.
He was over here trying to rock, paper, scissors, and I'm just shaking my head nope, son, no.
Oh, come on. It wouldn't be right. Small polearm great axe. Come on now. Okay, so last session.
What happened? Kyle, what happened last session?
A lot.
Now remember,
It was a very exciting session for Otis.
only the worst people would give in to revising history. So the summaries that have been presented heretofore are locked in. Those should not be messed with. But this new summary that builds on the summary given last time.
Kyle, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
All right. So last session, we continued on our brave-ish escape. Well, I should say yes, brave escape. We continued our brave escape, and we went out the door, and then we charged, and Otis shoved a drow right off of the bridge, and to his not so screaming death, he screamed later. As we attempted to continue our frontal assault, it became obvious that the drow were a little bit more trained, maybe better equipped than we were, as Nevermore ended up falling from her full height of flying into some webbing, being promptly saved by Spiraket. At which point we super hard beat feet and came up with a revised plan B of, well, let's just crawl down and get to the bottom, guys. It's totally safe. Otis, of course, in a bucket as opposed to climbing down because, wait. And we bid our adieu from our previous captors who, of course, are chasing us. So as we are frantically trying to sleep a little, travel a lot, and find food in the Underdark, some time passed. I don't remember the number of days, but that's a number. We encountered the tragic trap of a rope bridge.
Well, to be fair, it was a chasm. It started as a chasm, yeah.
That's true. We had a chasm. We made a rope bridge. Thanks, Nevermore. All crossed. Which, of course, I had some nice arm support crossing because twice in one session, character weight matters. Where we all safely got across and then encountered a mind flayer who didn't eat brains. Definitely the highlight of Otis's day. Definitely the opposite of whatever a highlight is for Neural's day. Where we found out about a weird society of really intelligent people called the Society of Brilliance. This guy in Graslick sounded nice and hoity-toity, but he also sounded smart. And also, Otis super disappointed that he didn't talk more about Mind Flayer Society. And we were leaving off at the moving forward from that time point.
Okay. So, the last thing that happened was that you guys have left the meeting with Grazalax, your dear friend who you definitely don't want to kill, Grazalax.
Wiggly face.
And that's a little racist, but sure. And you have found your way to camp for the evening. That is where we are going to begin. Now, this evening after the chasm incident and the meeting with Grazalax, does anyone have anything they wish to do or discuss or talk about in this evening?
I guess I would just be, trying to tell Otis to tell his new friend weird random stuff with his new toy. No, you should tell him to send us like little presents or something. She's just amazed at this little sending message thing. She thinks it's the coolest thing.
It is super cool. But it's only once per day.
Oh, and you want to save it for like good stuff?
Or like in case stuff. Or if I have a really important question about how mind flayers usually like interact. Or something.
Never was one for saving stuff. You never know how long you're going to be here. And she just kind of vacantly stares elsewhere now.
Okay.
Nevermore and Spirit Cat were setting up traps around.
Yes, that is a thing that happened. I do recall that. The camp has been trapped, and that is something you guys do on a nightly basis.
I think I already got my mushrooms for the day.
You did get your mushrooms for the day, which is disappointing because I'm
52.
excited to roll on my mushroom table. But that is okay. There will be other days. So if I remember correctly, you guys were a little over halfway to Sloobladoop. You had to go 8 days, and I believe this is the evening of the 6th day. Does that sound accurate to people?
It could be.
Or you tell me it's close enough for me. I accept it as the GM. If you want to say no, it's longer, feel free. But I wouldn't personally recommend it, but it's your prerogative.
So you're saying we've been out for how many days total now?
6 total days. You've been since you left the drow. It has been 6 days. And not tomorrow, but the day after, you should arrive in Sloobladoop. Which is a Kua-toa city, but that's kind of it. And on this evening, Seraph is going to come to Inala. And he's going to approach you, Inala, and he's going to say, Inala, I have concerns about our arrival at the Kua-toa city.
Hi.
Hi. I'm sorry, did you not catch me? I said I have concerns about our arrival at the Kua-toa city.
This is usually the part in the conversation where you express those concerns. I was just being, generally friendly by saying hi first. But continue.
I see. Well, the Kua-toa are not known for their rationality or kind dispositions. If we still had the other Kua-toa, things might be different. But since we do not, our arrival might prove difficult.
Do you have a suggested plan for this difficulty?
He says no. As far as I see it, we have no other choice. We need boats and supplies in order to cross the Dark Lake, and Sloobladoop is the only place we're likely to get them. I just wanted to express that we should be careful.
Would I know anything about their culture and, like if they, what they would value most, I guess?
Sure, you could give me, do you have nature trained or history trained? I don't know either of those. You don't have to have them trained. I'm just saying, whichever is your preference of those two skills, you can roll to see what you might know about Kua-toa. Because there's some things you definitely know, but to get more nuanced opinion. Rolls.
Wow, I've been trying to roll that for like 25 minutes. Okay.
I don't believe you that it was 25 minutes, but I will accept the premise. 16. Okay, 16 is good enough. You know a few things. One, Kua-toa are crazy. Like, it's not like a racist thing. It's just kind of a fact. They're nuts. Specifically, they're nuts in a very unique way. They sort of give power to themselves through collective belief. They come up with gods and then believe in them so hard that some amongst them gain actual powers from that. Like, gods that clerics worship normally in Faerun are demonstrably exist because it's easy to see their influence and they work through clerics and things like that. But Kua-toa just sort of cycle through gods. They make up a new god. They all believe in it really, really hard. And then some of them get powers because of it. But as far as anyone was able to tell, there's no actual force there. It's like their collective belief gives power to someone else. They're also remarkably perceptive. And while they may be crazy, they're not stupid. Everything makes sense in their logic. It's just that their logic is sort of inherently flawed. So tricking them can be kind of difficult sometimes. However, they are not without. They may be insane, but they're not without reason. Kua-toa often barter. They often trade with Durgar and things like that. However, the things they often trade are things like slaves. So, be careful.
So of their town, they're best known for their trade of slave people.
They trade in slaves, and they also trade the fish and things like that out of the Dark Lake. That is probably their bigger export as like a culture. But slaves are pretty common. They're not as big into slavery as like Durgar are, but it's not uncommon. For sure.
And on the making up their own gods thing, would I know, is it just Joe Bob down the street said this one exists, or is there some kind of hierarchy to who starts this?
There is
religion?
Usually a hierarchy. It's like if every crazy person who believed that they were Jesus was taken seriously, kind of. So like someone comes up with an idea that, oh my God, there's this God and I'm its prophet and I need to tell everybody. And then everyone else jumps on board really quickly. And then all of a sudden, those people, the people who believed in it first and hardest, they get the powers, with the prophet usually being the most powerful. And then like after a while, the Kua-toa grow bored with this God and a new prophet shows up and they believe really hard in that one.
Okay. Hearing that he didn't have much of a plan to help out, I'll just be like, well, I know that they're not stupid, but they are prone to, true belief in that once they come up with a god, they follow it through to the end until they're bored. So perhaps we could use that to our advantage. And she just kind of looks around, pausing at each person and whatever they're doing in that moment, trying to picture them as, what could I make you that the rest of us could show belief in, and maybe we could pass this off as something there.
So you want to find out who is the makings of a prophet?
Basically, yeah. I'm pausing on each, Nevermore, Neural, Otis, and Spiritcat. I mean, maybe a little of the others, but Bupido has the name.
What are you guys doing as you prepare for bed? Spiritcat, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just fine-tuning my trap here. You see, I've arranged the ball bearings to fall in such a way as to strike these metal plates that I've laid out. And here, watch. And I'm demonstrating this to anybody who won't look. Twang! Bing, ba-da-ding, bing, 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 ba-da-ding, bing, 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 bing. Now it'll just take me another 3 hours to set this back up.
Okay.
Passing
Otis,
on to the next.
Otis, what are you doing?
Otis would probably just be trying to find some way to make all of the mushrooms that we've been picking every day have any sort of flavor whatsoever, and be frustrated that he does not have like actual tools to cook and make things work properly. And also still be frustrated about mind flayer background.
Okay. Nevermore?
He's probably just starting to settle down. Usually at night when they're starting to settle down, he'll start seeming more glum when he's not concentrating on traveling and not dying and finding food and making sure they don't fall into pits that nobody notices. That's when he'll start, like, when he can think, when he's like with his own thoughts, he starts to get a bit more quiet and not like glum and upset and pouty, but like you can tell he's got like a lot on his mind. And excuse me, my cat's all over the place. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, and Neural.
Sorry, unmuting. So you're saying like when we're settling down for the night?
Yes.
Yeah, at some point, like, while we're preparing to bed down, or it might possibly be maybe on his watch or whatever, but at some point Neural wanders away from the camp and kind of goes off to kind of sulk somewhere else, and then returns back to the camp at some point. And if anybody happens to notice it, his knuckles are scabbed and bloody. Says nothing about it.
No,
Returns to the
Neural,
light,
watch out!
'cause,
So those
looks
are you have
looks
to
looks at
make
Spirit Cat, looks at Spirit Cat, looks at the ball bearings, keeps walking.
Well, it'll just take a few more hours.
What's Prince Darendil doing? How's he? Is he looking Prince Prophetly?
Prince Darendil is attempting to use a rock to file his nails in an aesthetically pleasing manner and failing miserably because his Quaggoth hands really don't grip that way. It's hard for him to do that. He's getting rather frustrated.
Eldith is still alive. Eldith, what you doing? You're so
Eldith is
beautiful and
attempting
graceful.
to sharpen her short sword, but she doesn't have like a proper whetstone or anything, and so she's just sort of sitting there trying to rub a rock against it, and then getting upset because it doesn't really work, and then she throws the rock away and swears in Dwarvish, and then mumbles something about hating it down here.
Like the curl on Anala's lip is just going progressively higher and higher, and I don't even know if she notices. She turns to Boopido. What's Boopido doing?
Boopido is
She looks hopeful.
Boopido and Jimjar together are trying to cheer up the twins. Basically, it's like a little magic show where Boopido is Jimjar's assistant and Jimjar is performing like little sleight of hand and magic tricks and stuff. It's sort of working.
Okay, so she'll, like, coming full circle, she'll stare at Sereth and shake her head, like, almost immediately upon resting on him and just say, honestly, it's probably either going to be the flamboyant little gnome or Boopido.
What?
Stay with me, Sereth. The Kua-toa, they're very interested in consistent, like, profits and making up gods that they can believe in intensely for a short amount of time. And if we sell the right person from our group, that might seem interesting enough to them to where they're willing to make trade with us and let us pass through their city.
It's possible. However, I would not want to be that prophet when we leave.
Do I know if they eat the prophet at the end of the
They don't
prophecy?
eat
Like,
the prophet, but like if this is successful and you get the Kua-toa believing in your god, then like they're not going to want the prophet to leave because like that's their ticket.
Oh, that's the easy part. No. Let's focus on phase 1 of profit building 101, and we'll get to phase 2, which is make the profit the opposite of what we created and built up through some giant town spectacle. I'm sure we can manage something like that with this group. And then we'll take our leave once they are introduced to something new.
Surely we could simply sell the Darrow into slavery. Their kind is used to it.
Good Lord, you really do love perpetuating our evil heritage, don't you? You're not going to make many friends that way.
I'm not aiming to make friends. I'm aiming to survive. The Darrow provides no use.
Well, here's hoping the day comes soon where you provide no use, Sereth. And she'll walk away.
He shrugs and goes back to what he was doing. Okay. You do anything else tonight, Inala, or anyone else?
Yeah, I would just, kind of keep an eye on people. I don't know if she would tell her idea to anybody else. How far out are we? 2 days still?
Yeah, basically you have all day tomorrow and then like part of the day the next day.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on people and judge every action that they make from now until we get there and decide who to share my idea with later.
Okay, so anyone else have anything they'd like to do tonight? Or just bedding down for the evening? Okay, excellent. So, you guys bed down, and the night passes uneventfully. And you wake up the next morning. Only some of you are dead. And you continue on into the next day. This next day is... luckily, also pretty uneventful. Although, Sin, I do need you to roll on the mushroom team, please.
Happily. I need to just get a button for mushroom table.
It's just a D100. That's all you need.
Sean, just so you know, as you were deciding what sort of a day it was, Spirit Cat was actually leaning out and putting his hand out, palm up, to see if it's raining.
It is not. It is not raining. You nailed that one, Spirit Cat.
The weather's always so good down here.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, you find a brace of Trillimax. The Trillimax are a mushroom that grows to a height of about 4 to 5 feet. They've got a broad gray-green cap and a light gray stalk. Their cap's leathery surface is often used as a replacement for paper. You can also eat the stalk. So it's kind of a dual purpose. The workhorse of the Underdark, they call it.
Did you say it was 3 foot high?
4 to 5 foot high.
My word, you could eat this entire thing? We'll feast for months.
As he looks up to something twice his height.
Just the stalk. The rest is rather leathery.
So not only do you gain, those provide you enough food for that you normally gain through gathering. You also basically gain
leathery paper?
You gain the equivalent of 10 rolls of parchment that you can use to do whatever. I don't care. Eat them if you want. Doesn't matter to me. But that is what you gather. So food and Underdark parchment.
Yay!
Okay. So, apart from the usual setting up camp stuff, putting the traps, finding a nice place to hide, all that stuff, is anything special happening tonight? Is anyone doing anything specific or out of the ordinary?
That I could think of.
Okay.
I know it's a tarp, but I just can't figure it out.
Are you, Anella, are you making any moves on this profit plan this evening, or still just examining?
No, I'm definitely just deep in thought and watching people and hoping someone does
I'll
something
give
fun.
you this. Actually, give me an insight check to represent your sort of examining people in the group and figuring out what you can about them. Okay, you've gathered that of the NPCs, not counting PCs, just the NPCs, the person best suited to this position out of them, you think, is probably Jim Jar. You think he'd be the one that would be most able to sell the story. I'm not saying he's necessarily going to be great at it, but out of the rest of the lot, he's probably the best at it.
He was displaying those fancy magics earlier.
Right. But, whether he has the disposition or anything beyond that, that's up for you to decide. I'm just saying he probably possesses the skills to lie in that fashion.
Yeah, she wrote down, everybody's on one of her new leathery sheets.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote down
Right.
everybody's name and just checks by his name.
Right, check suitability to be fake prophet, and then just little check marks. And then when you get 5 check marks, you get a gold star.
Or get shoved into, Kua-toas and told that they do magical things and you should believe in them. Just
Right.
go with it.
Okay, so unless someone speaks up now as I'm saying these things, we are going to pass to the next day, theoretically, depending upon... Yes, we are going to pass to the next day.
Woo!
And you wake up the next morning and continue on. You will reach the Kua-toa city of Slubladup a little after lunchtime. So if there were hours and days, it would be about 1 o'clock. But this is the Underdark, so it's a little after lunchtime is probably when you're likely to get there. Are you guys doing anything special on your approach to Slubladup?
Composing my ode.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? If you were going to enact your plan, now would be the time to do it. And I'll,
Sorry, I thought we had 2 days. My bad. Okay.
you had a day and like a half.
Alrighty. I guess I would probably go up to Otis and Nevermore, because they, I saw Neural get pretty upset, and Spirit Cat's just loopy most of the time. So those two seem pretty mellow. I would drag them to the side and explain what I was thinking, and then kind of point my head back towards Jim Jar and say, I think with the proper motivation, he would be a good candidate. He does seem an expert at fibbing, and if you bet that he can't do something, he's pretty inclined to do it. What do you guys think? I mean, we could always just try and barter our way through naturally, but we are a strange group. I
think it's a good idea, but we need to come up with a god for him to be prophetizing.
I like this plan as well. I think Jim Jar could work. Maybe we'll see the Kua-toa city become Atlantic City.
Yeah, if we pick something natural to his nature, I mean, maybe it'll come off as more believable. They're smart people, so I don't want to fully, try something strange and deceive them, because they might see through it, and there's too many variables in this plan and people. But perhaps, if a few core of us are very devout in our belief that Jim Jar is extraordinarily lucky when it comes to gambling.
But perhaps, but wouldn't they be expecting some bigger show magic? I know that the really holy people back home who believed in their gods, they had powers. I haven't seen him do anything remotely like that.
Well, a god doesn't always get their powers from themselves or profit. A lot of the power comes of the belief. And she just kind of, does the dancing lights thing over in the corner that she did before. And it's like, I'm sure I'm not the only one that can make bright, strange things. And she's just kind of staring at Spiroket, and he's doing something, I'm sure. And plus,
So Spiroket's walking alongside Neural with like the most uncomfortable look on his face. Like his consternation is growing by the moment, and it's actually causing his mustache to sit at an awkward angle. And eventually he just looks up at Neural and goes,
I'm sorry, I've completely forgotten your name. Who are you? Ah, awkward silence.
You there, Rob?
Yeah, I'm here.
just
Being
taps-
quiet.
No acknowledgement.
We've seen that one do some stuff before as well, like nodding at the one who's not, looks like he's not doing anything, but has always done stuff when he doesn't look like he's doing much of anything. And then things die suddenly. And Otis, I mean, look at him. He's a big old turtle.
Well, if we could get get our buddy to help, gesturing over to Neural, because I don't think he's ever said his name yet. But
No,
That
there
was
was
it.
there was one moment
Good.
very very briefly early on.
but I say if we could convince him, he doesn't. You move your hands and say things. He doesn't seem to do any of that, and stuff happens. Might help.
I agree, but the reason I didn't choose him for the prophet specifically is because most of his things have been
Well, he doesn't have
Deafy.
to be the. He doesn't have to be the prophet. He could just be the one making things happen in the background, and no one will notice.
well, you seem to be the closest to him so far. I don't suppose you could
Me?
convince him. Yes.
Congratulations, you got nominated.
Perhaps you could speak to him and get him to not open up to us necessarily. He's free to keep whatever he wants secret, but in order for us all to survive and get out of here, we all need to be of a similar mind, at least, if not one mind.
I could give it a try. And you will look over at Neural, then ponder over, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, got a minute?"
Ah, it was Bud. Excellent.
Huh? He's like,
Bud, I forgot
ignoring,
his name.
ignoring Spiroket, Neural turns his face towards Nevermore.
so we have this idea. Because apparently the Kua-toa really believe in things powerfully. And we're thinking of maybe setting Jimjar up to be as some sort of prophet and hoping that'll make it easier for us to pass through the city and get what we need and then leave. But he doesn't have any sort of powers. And everybody else tends to need to use their hands or their voices. But I've noticed that you don't generally need to do that. And we're hoping that maybe in the background you could maybe do something to make it seem like he's more powerful than he is. It's just like, maybe?
Neural kind of looks Nevermore up and down. I hope you're not too attached to the gnome.
You can call me Spirit Cat, the dragon's banner, red eye, use what?
He's... If the Kua-toa are mad, every last one, if you are deciding to position him as a prophet or a holy figure to them, there is a good chance you won't make it out alive. Just be warned.
Inala seems to think getting out is going to be the easy part.
For the rest of us, possibly. For him, I have doubts.
Well, we have to talk to him yet,
Hmm.
so we'll have to see. But you're on board for this? If we go for it?
I'm not sure how much help I'll be able to be, but I don't know how easily they'll be impressed.
It's a hope. You have to have a little bit of hope. Just a smidge to keep you going. And he's not trying to he was like about to like pat Earl on the shoulder, but he stops because he remembers him not really liking to be touched much. And then he'll just like nod, then head back over to Anala and notice like a couple thumbs up. Like, and
Excellent.
now we just need to see if Jim Jar's in.
And having Neural on board, are we calling, like, can we... Okay, having him on board, like, I don't feel comfortable using his name yet because I haven't actually gone up to him. Having him as part of the plan will actually make Phase 2 that much easier. Now, and she'll turn to Otis. You're very large. It makes symmetrical sense that you would go and convince the smallest member of our little five here. And I will go and talk to the others. No, I just mean get the gnome to calm down and be on our side. I will speak to Jim Jar.
Is there a muted Otis? Because I didn't hear that. Ah.
Well, it shouldn't be that hard. Lumber. Probably small little thuds in the ground as he moves over to Spiro. Okay? We have a plan to deal with this city, and it involves making a prophet appear where there wasn't one before.
Ah, so the Mercantile Trade. Good.
Less with the, if you can believe belief to be a form of money, then yes. I believe we're going to make Little Jim Jar a new god, or the prophet of a new god. Many will have to help to make this happen, or believed to happen. And if
Okay. And the follower of Kellamore is all right with this?
it was her idea. Maybe it's the drow side, and less the.
I've noticed drow priestesses are a little skewed.
To say, but mayhap you could lend some trinkets, maybe something to create the appearance of Jim Jar being the chosen one.
I suppose if we had a few steam engines, a large silken bladder, 5, maybe 6. Yes, I'm sure I could do it.
Maybe one with less resources, but Otis honestly would just be like, I don't know what we could do. I usually punch this, but does this sound reasonable?
Spirit Cat all of a sudden has to take a step forward because during each pregnant pause, he leans forward towards Otis a little bit more and finally just overbalances and has to take a step.
What? Yes, of course.
Must remember to use stool more often as he goes back to let Anala know.
Okay.
I shall create my first god gear.
Who is speaking to Jim Jar?
I am.
Okay.
So
you approach him while he's marching along.
Yeah, he's not consoling the children with magics anymore.
No, not at the moment anyway.
Hey, Jim Jar. I saw what you were...
Hey, what's up?
Saw what you were doing with Topsy and Turvy over there. That was very sweet of you. You're a nice guy, aren't you?
Oh, well, I mean, I try.
Yeah, I'm sure you come from a great upbringing. You have lots of brothers and sisters?
Well, I mean, I got a younger brother, but I wouldn't say a great upbringing, so to speak. But, could have been worse, I guess.
You seem like...
The drow only killed my parents, so,
Hey, they're terrible. I am ashamed to be part of that. But,
I wouldn't say you should be ashamed. I feel like you should be proud of who you are now. I don't know about that.
I have no idea who I am, but we're getting off topic of you, Jim Jar.
Right.
You don't need to figure out who I am. So I'm just curious, with your, having brothers and sisters, were you the oldest of this group?
Oh, yeah.
And she's definitely trying to start off making idle chit-chat as they're walking along, and just trying to endear herself and learn more about him. So you know about, taking care of, what happened to your parents, did you say?
Oh, well, when the drow raided Blingdenstone, my parents were in the guard, and that didn't go so well, so they didn't make it. And so, I had to look after my brother myself, and...
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, you gotta grow up quickly down here. That's kind of the part of the Underdark, I suppose.
You're right. I mean, it was better before. And, it's better now. I mean, kids grow up in Blingdenstone now, and it's fine. But
so is that where
rough time.
Is that where you're headed? Aside from this little ragtag group that we have here, but we're friends, right?
Sure we are. I mean, I was hoping to go back to Blingdenstone. I mean, it's where I grew up and stuff. So, I mean, that'd be nice. Why?
No, just wondering, just getting a feel for everybody and in the group and finding out where they're headed after this. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go to Blingdenstone. I mean, you guys probably want to go to Blingdenstone too. I mean, the Deep Gnomes are one of the few people who regularly go to the surface. So,
well, yeah, I mean,
your best bet.
And that's, I know I am not a deep gnome, but my adoptive parents were, and what?
Oh, no shit!
Yeah, you and I have that in common. That's why, I took a liking to you right away, Jim Jar. You got a good sense about you. We,
okay. All right.
I'm not going to tell you exactly where I'm from, but my parents owned a map shop, so they were good people, good, hardworking people.
Very cool. So, what do you want?
What do I want?
What do you want? Look, I appreciate you trying to get to know me. I do, but you kind of gave it away with the "I've always liked you, Jim Jar." That was a little too thick, I think.
Well, I have. I gave you the knife back in the thing. Anyway.
I believe you, but...
Plus, we had that time where we bet each other on something.
It was great.
That was great. How would you like to do that again? I'm just saying... The people in this group, Jim Jar, they don't really respect trade the way that you and I do. Coming from the same kind of place. Good, hard-working people work hard for their money. Right. They want to see if they can turn that around and make something lucky out of themselves. And
I'll be honest, Nala, do you think I work hard for my money?
I think you absolutely do. Just because your work looks much different than others, but you read people, Jim Jar.
I suppose that is a skill. Yeah, that's fair.
That is a skill that not many, and she'll turn back to Spirit Cat. Not many possess.
Sure.
Wait. Whoa. I am the 1%.
And he holds up his 1 gold coin.
Sure you are. Good job, Spirit Cat.
I'm just saying,
Excellent
Jimjar.
work.
You're of a different caliber as far as getting along with people, and you are right to assume that I have an ulterior motive here. But
Right.
what I want, Jimjar, is to get out of here safely. And honestly, I'd like to take as many people to that, safety thing as possible. And in doing so, I
Not
think...
Sarah, though.
I really... is he still back there?
I mean, Sarah's around. I mean, he's not nearby, but he's in the column of people walking.
I mean, I'm not going to kick him out of a boat, but I'm also,
Right.
he's not the nicest guy. He's not my favorite of this group. Anyway, I want as many of us as possible to live to tell this tale. You, my friend, possess a certain set of skills that I think
Right.
would be apt for a job coming up in the next town.
Right.
You-
Sure. Like
you-
what sort of skills?
So you know about the Kua-toas, and she goes off to explain her plan of blah, 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 blah. I think you could do this profit thing with the help of some others that we have talked to make your powers look amazing. You just sell yourself as a really amazing guy doing what you do, reading people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but that's isn't that a little culty? I don't know really about that way.
Culty? No.
Well, like the reading people
Okay.
and getting to do what you want through manipulation.
Okay.
That's kind of culty.
Jim Jar, you and I have lived near the same town, and I'm sure you've read the super popular paper down there. The rocker exclusive, and
Right,
how
yes.
those sensational headlines of, "Oh my gosh, look at what Mudfud did this week." Don't you want to be?
Sure.
Don't you want to be like Mudfud? Have your minute, Chloe came through there. Have a minute in the sun. Be a hero for a second. If only
Well,
for a second.
We're in the Underdark, so moment in the sun's not really a thing we do here. But I get your point.
You could reinvent yourself.
I guess, but I don't know that I want to be like a false prophet idol thing. It seems kind of I don't know. Again, I don't know. I keep getting stuck on this whole cult thing. It seems pretty culty, like pretending to have divine influence to get people to do what you want. Are we gonna start taking their money next? I'm
No.
okay with that, generally speaking.
We're
but-
only doing this to make the travel through the town a lot easier. Tell you what, if we encounter no trouble in our haggling and just go in there straight and are able to get a boat and get out, that will be plan A. We'll go for that first, Jim Jar. But if it doesn't work, will you please be our plan B?
Give me a persuasion check,
Please let me stop talking.
because Jim Jar is not super on board with this plan, but you made a good case.
Hey, I have inspiration.
You do have inspiration. Would you like to use it?
Be my plan B, yes, please. I didn't even need it, but yes, I'm checking it off.
He says, all right, fine. I'll do it. But plan B, okay? We'll try to talk to him normally and see what happens. Okay?
You got it, buddy. And thank you, I won that bet. Spirit
It was
Cat
a
over
bet?
there. Yeah, he said you wouldn't want to do it. So,
well, you
thank
could've
you.
just told me that. I would agree with it from the beginning then.
Noted, Jim Jar.
Whoa. The bet was he didn't want to do it. He has expressed he does not want to do it. I think that's a
No.
win.
I'll come around. I think it'd be pretty cool to be a cult leader. Like those Drow Jones down in the southern part of the Underdark, that kind of guys. Yeah, sure. It's pretty cool.
I don't know.
It's your bet. I don't want to influence it unfairly, but I did agree, so.
Nala just changes her notes to go the short way next time.
All right, so you've got Jim Jar on board at least for a plan B of attempting this profit plan. He's not super enthused, but he'll do it. Any other preparations you would like to do?
Still need to make up a god. I mean, he has to prophetize something or other.
It's true.
Well, I mean, they all sound the same. Just have someone make a sneezing noise, and that's how we'll pronounce it.
That's racist. Not
I mean,
wrong,
maybe.
but racist. So, does anyone have any ideas for what god to worship? Or are you just going to let Jim Jar make it up?
Well, would Jim... This is getting confusing now, but would Jim Jar know of having been in the Underdark with me? Could I, like, basically just take a second and make something up?
I mean, you could make... Yeah, you could take a second and make something up. Yeah, that's
Cool.
fine. But you wouldn't really be able to tell, like, what... Like, you might remember what the last god you heard about was, but it's guaranteed that that god is so far out of date at this point.
Yeah,
I'll just laugh at you.
I guess I'll just, Oh, so there's no way of knowing, like, what they're currently, like, all about?
No, not unless you had some reason to be in Sloobladoop recently, because not only is it regional, but it changes pretty often. So the Kua-toa you met might have worshipped a different god than they worship here in Sloobladoop, and they change on a regular basis. So if you met, the last Kua-toa you met was a year ago, there might be 3 gods away at this point.
Oh, that would be even more fun. Yeah, so, I will just pick a god, and then from there, I'll just rely on Jim Jar and all his charisma.
Sure. Okay. All right. So you guys continue on having your plan in place. You continue on toward Sloobladoop. Now, I know Nevermore, you were covering tracks. And Nala is foraging for food. Is anyone acting as a forward scout? Or is it just sort of you guys in front as like the slightly more capable combatants and the NPCs in back?
Would searching for worm sign count as forward scouting?
If you want to be ahead of the group, sure.
Well, that's where I'll get to the dragon tracks first, because obviously I'm tracking dragons.
That's fair. Sure. Okay, so Spirit Cat, you're in front. I will allow that. So Spirit Cat, worm sign seems difficult to come by today.
They normally are.
However, you come to a cavern that's rather brightly lit, and as you look inside, you see that there are several crystalline formations, many of which are glowing,
Gem dragons.
Considerable light into this cavern. And as you look, you see several bipedal fishy creatures sort of spread out, hiding amongst the gem formations.
Aquatic dragons.
Are you stealthing?
I am reasonably stealth-y.
That's not the question I asked.
Officially, I am survival-ing, if I can survival-ing and stealth at the same time, but I believe we have normal travel speed, so I'm not allowed to stealth.
So you can't really stealth.
Okay.
Moving at the speed you're going at. So you're going to come in the room a little bit ahead of everyone else. Not too far, but a little bit ahead. And you see these groups of people as these groups of people see you. And what are you going to do? Are you going to do anything specific in this moment?
Aha!
Okay. Spirit Cat, do you speak Undercommon?
I don't, but I'm pretty sure
Aha!
is universal.
You hear one of them yell something in Undercommon, and we're going to need to roll for initiative.
Spirit turns back.
Well,
Was not convincing to them for some reason.
Using stool, I'll make like the backward sound of his aha in his head.
Don't ever do that again.
What the heck?
Do not ever do that ever again. Just don't. I do not like it.
It's aha backwards. What do you want?
Don't, just no. No. No, no. No, no, no. No.
Did mine not hit the tracker for some reason?
Apparently not. I can add you.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Thanks.
Thought I had clicked myself, but I guess.
Okay. All right. Nala, Nevermore, Odin's, Kua-toa. Okay. Your NPC allies will arrive 2 rounds later if this combat is still existing.
So which way did we? Oh God! The updated map or ruler tool is there now.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh God!
What is
It doesn't look like a comb anymore, and I don't know what to do. Okay. All
Snap
right.
to
So you were
corner?
coming from this way,
That's what I was. That's what I was going to ask. Is which direction were we coming in from?
and you are going this way down towards.
Okay. Yes.
Snapping.
But you can also, but you can do it too. Now, so we don't see everybody measuring up their lines of sight and fireballs and shit.
Oh, I
You can hide from others.
Oh, look at that. Okay. All right. So Nevermore, you get to go first. These Kua-toa are leaping out, weapons in hand, as if to attack.
as if to attack?
Yes.
Okay, hold up.
Oh, and it tells you how many squares now too.
That is useful. I do like that. The other is scary and different, and I don't like it.
Huh?
I said the other stuff is scary and different, and I don't like it.
Oh, so and when you do it from the center, it counts the square you're in.
Oh, thank goodness. That was so obnoxious.
All right, so I do want to say what the most important thing is. If you're zoomed all the way the frick out, it's still readable sized.
Oh, excellent. Thank goodness, because that was so obnoxious. You had to like,
Oh, wait,
if
no,
you
it
had a
doesn't
huge
count the
map
square you're in.
and you're rolling, you like.
Oh, you know what?
Yes.
The diagonals are doing the every 2 it jumps by 5. It's doing the other one.
I see.
These 2 minutes brought to you by the new Roll20 changes.
Yeah.
Hey, this is
We're stalling for Nevermore time.
content they come to us for, okay? For sure.
So are we doing that for the diagonals instead of it being 1 square is 5? Or are we doing the whatever
so
they used to be like
how-
the 4th edition or whatever it was, where it's like 5 then 10 then 5 then
I
10
believe that is a 3-5 thing.
or something like that?
I'm gonna keep it that way for now. I'm
Okay.
not sure what the official 5e rule is, so I'm gonna
I
keep it
don't
that way for now, and we can deal with it later. Nevermore. I saw you moved. Are you doing anything else?
Yeah. He is because you're saying they're jumping out, and he could definitely see them at this point. Like,
Yeah. The crystalline formations are a shoddy cover at best. The only real cover they provide is like when you're coming out of the dark tunnel into this room. You know, when you try to look past like a campfire and it's hard to see the other side. That's the majority of the cover they provide. Now that you're in here, you can see him pretty easily.
So he's just gonna try. He's gonna like hold his hands up. It's like, it's okay. We're not here to fight. And just see what happens. But like, he carries his
Are you saying this
glaive.
in uncommon?
He doesn't know that, so he's just
Alright.
so he's
Excellent.
speaking in normal common.
Excellent.
What other language does he know? Infernal and Elvish, neither of which are undercommon. So he's just going with.
Neither of them are uncommon. That's true. And Nala.
She's gonna move, and almost in the same instance that Nevermore did, move up here and put her hands out, palms up. Friends, in Undercommon. Friends, not here to hurt you, not here to cause any harm. I apologize for my friend's sudden behavior. That, and she makes his noise, that is how he speaks. I apologize. We are friendly to you, and she puts her hands up and kind of nods back to other people to do the same.
Could you make me a persuasion check, please?
Sure.
Okay. We will see what happens on their turn. For now, we're going to continue for an initiative. Neural, are you doing anything?
Watching this, Neural's hand will go to his mace. He will ready it, free object action. Will not do anything. Will ready a motherfucking mind bullet for the first Kua-toa who attempts to react hostilely towards anybody who's forward in the group.
Okay. All right. The sort of rank and file Kua-toa seem sort of stymied by this. They sort of look around like, and they look back towards this rather different looking one over here who seems larger and scarier. Sort of like, what do we do? But none of them do anything this turn. Spirit Cat. Spirit Cat, follow your heart, please.
Uh-huh.
Excellent.
Oh. Huh?
Uh-huh.
And that's it. He's,
Okay.
everybody's gibbering around him, so he's like, I'll gibber too.
Otis.
Otis is gonna go ahead and. I should have left that on snapping. He's gonna go ahead and move up a little bit and just kind of dodge.
I love it when turtles dodge. Very adroit.
No, seriously, please. We're not here to hurt anybody, and also we're not here to get taken as slaves.
Okay. So, seeing your peaceable intentions, this rather larger, rather more physically imposing Kua-toa is going to respond back in Undercommon to Anala and say, Limu demands a sacrifice! You will be taken to the great beyond! It is a gift! Do not resist! And he's going to turn to this Kua-toa over here who's giving him a look like, what do we do? And he says, take them, you idiot! And he's going to punch him. And as he punches him, you see a shock of electricity. And this Kua-toa like stiffens up and is like paralyzed in place for a second.
What? Wait, did I hear? I'm sorry. In honor of who? Was there?
Limugugun.
Okay.
I told you it was gonna get weird. This is only the beginning. Fucking better buckle in.
Was that in
Okay.
Undercommon that he said that?
That was in Undercommon, so any of
Okay.
you who can speak Undercommon understood that.
Okay. Are we still in initiative order though? I assume.
Yes, because at this, the other Kua-toa resume their more aggressive stance. Nevermore.
Can I pause? I'm sorry. Can I?
Sure.
Where are the rest of our group? Did we decide
The
that?
other
He
ones
said
are
they
a
were
little
gonna
bit
arrive,
behind you.
yeah,
They're
they're
going
not
to
gonna-
arrive next round. They're going to arrive next round.
Okay.
Well, Nevermore has no idea what was just said, but kind of gets the idea that
I don't want to be sacrificed.
that something did not go well. So he is going to how is this measuring? Is this actually 30 feet if I go this way?
It's if you're
That's
doing
correct.
diagonals, it's covering
Yes,
the.
that
It's
is
going
30
like
feet.
yeah, it's going like 5, then 10, then 5, then 10 on the diagonals.
Weird. Okay. So I will put him here. So he's got more of the attention of these guys over here. And he is going to hold until they actually do something. Just be like, we're not gonna. Like, he has no idea what they said, but he's like, we're friends. Trying to repeat what she said. I don't know if he could actually mimic the word.
Okay.
But,
And Nala.
wait. He's
I'm
going
sorry.
to hold. Like, if one of them gets all uppity, he's going to hold his an attack if one gets close
Gotcha.
enough.
Gotcha. Okay.
Glaive.
Now I know.
I will try one last time to put up her hands and respond and say, "No, no, no, no! All praise Ali Mugugun. Also, we're followers of him. We have a prophet of his with us. He's just a little slower than the rest of us, and he sent us ahead to alert your greatness of his presence. He's coming."
Make me a deception check, please.
And if he doesn't buy this, I don't know if I have an action left, but
Okay. You see that some of them go to pause again, like wondering what they should do. However, it seems like their fear of the larger one overpowers your convincing words, and they steal their fishy resolve.
okay. So do I have an action or no?
I'm gonna say no. Trying to talk them down is an action.
Makes sense.
Bonus actions, if you have any.
Spiritual weapon.
Yeah,
Obviously, bonus
no.
action. Oh, did I not make you third level yet?
Funny. Yeah, no,
I
that's...
thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, you're very so funny. Okay, no, that's it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So again, not understanding any of the conversation that's been going on here. But it looks like that the talkie one over there seems kind of hostile.
Yeah, and it seems like the Kua-toa are trending that. The majority of them are trending that way as well.
Okay. Well, that's how things work, I guess.
It's the way the salmon crumbles.
Yeah, that's the way the sashimi slices.
That's good. I like.
So Neural will kind of take like kind of a defensive posture, and he's kind of holding his mace out in front of him, not in like a way that looks like any sort of way that someone would actually brandish it to hit anything, but almost kind of like a ceremonial, like a I don't want to say like a baton twirler style of thing, but like it's more like presenting it rather than prepping to attack with it. He will focus on bonus action, going to focus on psychic assault for the extra damage, and we're going to do a mind bullet at the one that's north of Nevermore, behind the orange crystal.
Go for it.
All right, so DC 14 int save.
Okay, these guys are super smart.
Yeah.
For sure. Definitely. Really smart. Not smart enough. 10, you say? He does not like that.
10 points of damage, yep.
Yeah, you're not a fan. Okay. The Kua-toa, the one that this icon is on, is paralyzed, so he can't do anything, but the others are going to act. So this one goes up. What? What? I'm sorry, Roll20 is telling me that we've updated our hotkeys. Placing ruler waypoints is now done by pressing Q or right-clicking. Previous measurement or token movement can now be shown by pressing X. Okay. I hate change, Roll20. What are you doing? Okay, alright. I can live.
Why you do this to me?
Why you do this to me? Are you guys seeing that? Like the movement?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it does still work.
I get to smack this guy.
You do get to smack that guy, so please take your smack as is appropriate. He's gonna double.
Does that? Oh, well, never mind. I was gonna say, because he has advantage on someone who hasn't done anything yet. But does that movement count as acting? Would that negate that for future reference?
Yes, because that's like if they haven't taken a turn in initiative, and they took turns, but they
Okay.
like waited.
Okay, I get it. Your first. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm reading it better now. So he.
But yeah, you hit him. He's good. Did you mean to crossbow him?
No, I meant to glaive him.
Okay, I will allow that as glaive because I don't.
Let me just roll the glaive so I can get the proper damage. Will you roll? What is wrong with you? Being a butt. Okay.
Good thing I let you use that 20. All right, so 9 slashing, roll an additional d10. Kua-toa are humanoid, so you get a bonus. It doesn't matter. You don't need to roll the extra d10. He's dead.
Okay.
He's super dead.
Blorch.
Yeah, he's super dead. Okay, so
I
and
can't
now-
bonus action on this, right? That's just
No, because it was a
Okay.
prepared action. Okay, so two of them are going to attempt to net you, Nevermore. The two who got there in one movement. Okay, one misses terribly. However, the other is able to get a net around you. So you are restrained. So you can use your action to make a strength check to try to free yourself, or you can try to attack. But you take the penalties for restrained. The one next to you, Inala, is going to stab you with his spear. And actually managed to hit for 4 damage. The other ones have stood there, running out of movement to get where they are. Spear kick.
Ah! I thought it was going so well. We were all going moo, goo, 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 moo.
And then he will fire a hand crossbow at the Kua-toa, assaulting Inala.
Okay. That'll hit.
And then he will
Wow.
follow up with a thrown dagger. That probably won't, though.
That will not hit.
And then he will bravely rush backwards.
So brave. Otis.
Otis is gonna walk on up here,
Mm-hmm.
and he is going to look at the Kua-toa and look at Nevermore and be like, still can't reach it, and use his bonus action to rage,
Mm-hmm.
and then attempt to rip the net off of Nevermore.
Okay. Do you have a thing that does slashing damage?
Yes, my claws.
I was going to say your claws do.
Yes, that will do it. Alternatively, you can make a strength check, but it's probably easier to do the claws, would be my guess, especially with rage damage.
Rage.
So yeah, give me an attack roll with your claws. That's enough. Roll damage. All right, yeah, you are no longer restrained, Nevermore, as Otis rips the net off of you.
No nets.
No nets. Do you have any bonus action? No, you bonus action rage. You have no.
Yes.
Okay. This guy yells out, "Forley Mogogon!" and spends his turn running. He's really excited about it, though. Okay. Nevermore.
Nevermore. Okay. Because he does have a glaive, I think he's just gonna step this way. Well, first he's gonna sort of like pat Otis on the shoulder, he's like, thanks, and then step over this way and glaive at this guy.
Okay.
If I hit the right thing this time. No.
That will not. And in fact, as you sort of swing and he sort of dodges out of the way, he brings his shield up, and your glaive catches on his shield, and you go to sort of swing through or pull away, and you find that the shield is like holding onto it really, really tightly. I need you to make me a strength save.
Okay. Oh no, did I close it? Sorry. Strength save.
Okay, you are able just barely to yank your weapon free of the shield, and as you do, you can see strands of this like sticky goop that covers the shield sort of stretching out and trying to grab onto your glaive but failing.
Ew. And then he's gonna bonus action Hunter's Mark. All slots expended. How is that a thing? But But yeah,
You might not have. I don't worry about that right now.
but yeah,
But
he's gonna Hunter's Mark the guy that he got stuck to.
all right, Mark.
Is that one the only one that's carrying that kind of shield? Do the other ones have those too?
All of them have shields.
Okay, including the leader.
I'm sorry. The leader does not. The leader is totally unarmed.
Okay.
Like, their shields are gross. Their shields are really gross.
Hinala.
She will she will turn towards the Kua-toa in front of her and swearing in some undercommon. She will attack him while she mentions towards the big ugly one and says, "It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this. Plan B in common."
Okay.
Was there a
And
plan B?
that didn't work. Why?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Spirit Cat calls out,
Yeah.
"Have I told you about my friend Jim Jar?"
I forgot to roll for apologize. They're gonna go after you. Okay. DC. That's not a correct thing.
No, it's still not showing.
Is that the one next to you that you're doing this to?
Yes, that is the one next to me that I'm doing this to. The DC is actually 13. I can't win with roll 20 and changing this every time.
Okay, he takes 5. Excuse me.
And even though it will probably cause an attack of opportunity, I am going to back towards Circuit.
That will. And he's gonna try to hit you with this. Oh, excuse me.
And I'm sorry, do those provide cover? Like, are they big flowers or something? Yes?
They're crystals. They provide half cover if you hide.
Okay, cool.
They're kind of spindly.
Spindly.
You are the attack sort of bounces off your armor. It does not do anything. As you get this Kua-toa. And now your friends arrive. So Jim Jar and Eldeth Sereth show up. And Jim Jar says, it kind of late for plan B.
She just shrugs. We can't murder the whole city via stool.
All right.
I mean,
And-
by all means, murder these people. I just mean, like, it's official.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Oh, I see. All right, I understood. And Jim Jar is gonna years of muscle memory have to be undone. It's gonna run down to here and hand crossbow that guy and hit him. Do a bunch of damage. Sereth is going to do the same. And miss. And Eldith is going to run to here and attempt to shoot. She's going to double move to get to here. Neural.
Okay, the one that the with the attempted shield stick. What was the marker on that one for? Oh, Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark.
Okay, gotcha. Just trying to remember. Let's see. Neural is going to move a little bit over here to kind of change his positioning a bit. We've got people lining up on both sides here. Although I feel like we got most of the melee fighter types over on the other side. This one, though, is pretty weak. He's going to shift his stance again, and he's going to point his mace at the this guy right here. And we're going to drop another mind thrust.
All right. On the injured one?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see how smart he is. Oh, he's the smartest Kua-toa ever.
You save?
They call him Albert Kua-toa Stein. Yeah, he saved.
Ah, shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm.
That's all or nothing, right?
Yeah, no, there's no.
Okay.
This is essentially my cantrip.
Gotcha. Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, no. I had a bonus action thing I can do, but I don't think that's really useful right now. So, yeah, I'm just going to maybe I'll take like another 5-foot step this way, and then that's it.
All right, Toa's turn. This guy is paralyzed. Run to there. That's his little turn. This guy's going to run to here and try to attack Seraph. This guy's going to run to here. This guy's going to double move in here. And this guy is also going to double move here. This guy's going to try to throw a net at Jimjar. And he is not going to succeed. These three are going to move in. So one's coming at you, Otis, with a net. Otis, you have been benetted. You are restrained. So on your turn, you can make strength check or attack, but you count as restrained. Nevermore, you killed their friend, and they don't like that. Killed their friend? Yeah, you killed their friend. Yeah, that's it. So they're going to try to attack you. And one is going to succeed for a remarkably consistent 4 damage. And that is their turn. Spirit Cat.
Hey! And when the Kua-toa looks down, he fires upward.
Okay. Do you have anything that removes your penalty in melee?
I do. I do not take a disadvantage. Not that helped me in that.
I was gonna say,
you got
I was
that
gonna-
thing. Yeah, you got that thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does that thing give you a few more pluses to hit? Maybe.
It does
No.
not give me a few more pluses to hit. But then I do follow up with the dagger throw.
Aha! Distraction! Yeah!
It was not particularly distracting, unfortunately. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Otis, you've been benetted. Oh no!
I just want to say that these are the most accurate net throwers I've ever seen. I've literally never seen a net hit.
They've thrown 2 nets and they've hit both. I don't know how. They rolled above 20 both times. It's a miracle.
That is a miracle.
Because their bonus to hit is like +3 with that net. It's not good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess since it is already advantage on me because I'm restrained, I'll reckless attack against this Kua-toa
Okay.
to remove my disadvantage.
Right, so it'll just be a regular attack. Correct. 22 will hit. And 8 damage. He doesn't like that. You're supposed to stop fighting. You're in a net. That's how it works.
No. When the turtle puts you in a net, that's when you stop fighting.
Oh, I see.
Silly Kua-toa.
All right. This guy's turn. Spirit Cat, you tried to shoot him. And then throw a dagger at him.
It's a distraction! Yeah!
It is. So he's going to, after dodging your attempts to hit him, he's going to sort of punch his fists together like boxers do, and like lightning is going to arc between them, and then he's going to punch, and then finish it off with a bite at you.
I don't like this.
Yeah, you shouldn't, because he rolled really well. Okay, so Spirit Cat. This is a grand total. Do you have anything that makes you resistant to lightning damage, perchance?
I'm wearing leather boots.
Okay, so no. That is a grand total of 16 damage, and you cannot take reactions until the end of his next turn. As your muscles seize up, and you're like you have trouble moving around. Not that you really could take reactions, but and he's going to move up to here, and that is his turn. Nevermore.
He is, since they're being surrounded, he's gonna keep after the guy he marked. Hopefully not lose his glaive. 15 to hit?
15 will hit.
Whoops, that's not what I meant. This. And why is it rolling the okay. But then as a bonus action, he is going to use the tunnel fighter, which puts him in a defensive stance until the start of his next turn, which will give him he'll be able to make opportunity attacks without using a reaction, and I can use the reaction to make an attack at somebody that moves within 5 feet of me.
Roll your Hunter's Mark damage. Yes, the spirit catches it. Or more. Excellent. Okay. He does not like that. Nevermore.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Enola.
I distracted him for you.
Yeah, I think your noises are making him even more upset, and she'll turn to the big nasty in front of her, and taking out her. You know what? No, fuck it. I'm gonna stare at him and just say, you know, it didn't have to be like this. And now you're gonna go and kill my flamboyant little gnome friend.
Big guy or little guy?
Big guy.
Big guy?
All right, assuming he's been smooshed at one point, right? A little.
Inflict wounds doesn't count for that, right?
No, yeah, it doesn't. Okay, never mind.
Wounds
I don't care. I just want he's in my face now, and he's between me and Spirit Cat.
Okay, yeah, that totally hits, and he takes some damage, and he does not seem to.
That's about it.
All right. NPC's turn. First, we're going to do Sereth. Sereth's going to stab this guy with a short sword. He pulls out and not do a good job. Rip. Jim Jar's going to move to here, pulling out a short sword in his other hand. He's going to stab once. Come on, guys. Okay.
Wow.
It's comedy errors down there. It's not going well for any of them. Eldith pulls out her short sword, confident she can do better. Let's see if that's the case. Stab. No. Stab. Yeah. 5 damage. Okay. She stabs the one that's Hunter's marked. He's not quite dead, but he's pretty close. Neural.
Oh boy. They all go next, and Spirit Cat and Otis, but Otis is over there. Then the Kua-toa goes. If I were higher up in the initiative, this would be a better plan.
Do it anyway.
Yeah, probably. Noticing that you know that they seem to have been kind of like waiting to kind of like take not really orders from this one, but like some of them were, you know, this one's quite clearly in charge. Bonus action, shifting my focus to telepathic contact, and the 6 people closest to me. So I guess Inala, Spirit Cat, Jim Jar, Sereth, and Nevermore, and probably either Eldith or Otis, one of them. But I'll quickly reach out and poke all of their brains to let them know that we need to execute a decapitation strike. And you see him focus for a second, and the Kua-toa monitor kind of seems to almost kind of faintly glow to their vision a little bit. Like you start seeing like weak points pointing themselves out, like, you know, gaps in the armor or like where vital organs are. I'm dropping Commander's Sight for 2 points, basically until the start of my next turn. Everybody has advantage on attacks against him.
Cool. All right.
So I'm going to drop that. And I'm going to back off like another 10 feet. And I don't think I have anything I can do for a bonus that's attack related. So, because that was a full action. Yeah, I'm done.
All righty. The Kua-toa's turn.
So,
All right. So first run, I resolve attacks in jar. Sereth. Sereth's gonna hit for not a lot of damage. And Nala, you're getting netted, but not successfully. Otis, you're gonna get stabbed by the guy who's netted you. And advantage. Excellent. 7 piercing damage to you, Otis. That is not halved, so halve as appropriate. And then 1 coming at you, Nevermore. Not gonna hit.
Disadvantage.
It definitely doesn't hit then. And 1 coming at. Wait, why do they have disadvantage?
Because he's in a defensive stance.
What?
For his tunnel fighter.
Tunnel Fighter doesn't give other things disadvantage on attack rolls against you. It just allows you to take attacks of opportunity for free.
Because it says it's a defensive thing specifically.
Right, but it doesn't, like, it says you shift into a defensive stance, implying, like, you stand there and hold the ground and get free attacks of opportunity. But it doesn't give you, like, the effects of a dodge action. Because that would be, like, crazy broken.
Okay.
But he's going to
Either
try to
way.
attack Eldith and does not. I mean, he doesn't hit regardless. This guy's got to try to run. He's going to be in this fight. Really, he's trying. Yeah, he makes it to there. Spear Cat. Remember, you have advantage on the big guy. Little thing on him.
Nice.
Ha!
oh, for
Two!
the best dagger crit ever.
Yeah, that'll hit. So 7 damage.
Go, Dome, go!
Electricity is still arcing between the tips of his mustache.
Why don't you have a damage?
Offhand.
Offhand. That's it. Gotcha. Okay. Anything else?
That is it. Stagger around. Bzz.
Okay.
Like, everything in my pack is now making noise and playing as the electricity activates all my Tinker Toys.
I really just wanted to kill that guy, but obviously he's a little hardier than I thought he would be.
There ain't no pushovers.
There ain't no pushovers. So I guess I will take my turn to battle axe the net around me disappointedly.
Okay. All right, roll it. Are you reckless attacking it?
I didn't call it beforehand. So I guess the implication there would be no. I probably would have, but
I will allow you to.
Okay.
Because you rolled fast. I will allow you to, because
maybe hastily and recklessly rolled quickly.
Okay, so you are no longer restrained as you destroy this net. All right. Anything else?
Well, I mean, if we're gonna recklessly move.
Okay. All right. You get the attack opportunity. You destroyed his net though, so and the advantage does not help him, so he does not hit you.
Nets are for those who can't.
All right. It's Spirit Cat. You stayed in melee and then made yourself more of a problem. So he's gonna try to knock you out. And then turn to Nala if that succeeds. So punch. Yeah, it's gonna succeed. All right, Spirit Cat, you're down. 8 damage
That's down.
as he punches you with one fist and then turns to Anala with his other fist and bite. Bite misses, but one of the punch he swings does for 7 damage. That is his turn. Nevermore.
Gonna try to take that one out.
All right.
Gross. And no.
9's not going to do it, unfortunately, now.
The fates are unkind this evening.
The fates are really unkind to you guys tonight. They've been rolling well, and you have not.
And he'll slip back into the stance.
Okay. Inala.
All right. Spirit Cat. Oh no. Spirit Cat, come on. And I will bonus action healing word on Spirit Cat. Get up. And it's 7. It's 7, not 6, because, you were at 0 HP. And then for my action, I am going to, look this guy straight in the eyes and be like, why are you doing this, making this so hard on all of us? Think of all the fish that you have sent to their deaths. Again, DC is 13.
Okay, he fails.
Is that the added one? Like, because it should do more damage since he's already.
It rolled a d12. It just rolled terribly.
And he responds with, Limurgun demands blood. And it's NPC's turn. All right, so first we're going to do Sarah. Sarah's going to try to finish this guy off. He's trying really hard. And there we go. The guy had 2 hit points left, so Sarah did it. Put it away. That guy's dead. Sareth then moves in keeping with the... Well, actually, he can't attack anymore, so he's going to move to here. Jimjar is going to bonus action disengage, move to here, and stab this guy twice because he has advantage. That's what he's told to do. Stab, stab. Come on, Jimjar. The second attack for sure hits. Damage. And Eldith is going to attempt to finish off this guy first. Stab. It's going to have points. Hers the only one that doesn't auto roll. That is enough to finish off this one. So her second attack goes to the one to the south. Does not. All right. NPC's done. No.
Well, glad to see that Jim Jar is on board with the plan, but he gets frustrated at that this thing is still up. That drops now because it's only until the beginning of my turn.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to focus his anger, and we're going to lash out with a psionic blast with a small shout of anger.
Nice.
I'm going to do that with 2 points into it instead of 1, so that is basically... Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh no! He still takes 3 damage though.
Yeah,
That's
three damage. That's great. Three whole damage for
3 less than he had.
Yeah, well, my
my
hopes were that I could maybe like finish him off, but
It's 1 better than 2.
yeah, great. So 3 damage to him.
All right. Kua-toa's turn. All right. These 2 down here are going to swing at Sereth. Bonk, bonk. One's going to hit 2 damage. One right here is going to swing at Jimjar because Jimjar swung. He's going to do kind of a lot of damage. He gets a really good hit on Jimjar, and Jimjar winces as blood pours out from underneath his armor. And then these two over here are going to... one's going to attack Eldith, and one's going to attack Nevermore. Bloop. And bloop. Neither hit. Doo-doo. That is their turn. Spirit Cat.
Stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's my crossbow. Twang!
Bonk.
That's not going to do it. That's a much better.
I love how you always crit on the offhand.
The one that is first to crit on, but still does damage. Death by 1,000 dagger crits. Excellent noises. Anything else?
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. Otis.
Did I make it in time? Oh, I didn't make it in time.
That's okay. You can
But
give
I
yourself
will.
advantage.
Yeah, I'm still gonna give myself advantage and smash this guy in the face with a
Nice.
battle axe, and I'll kind of, whoa, like in that low turtle voice. I can't do it because otherwise I'll break my microphone.
10 damage.
Or
Nice.
him
He does
as
not
a-
like that.
Trying to put an axe into him.
You succeed. He took some damage. Anything else? Okay. This guy's turn. Otis, you showed up and hit him in the face with an axe, and he's not really on board with that sort of as a thing that's happening. So he's going to turn towards you. Fight. Okay. Your AC is 19. Okay, that's good. The only one that hits is the bite for 4 damage. The other ones sort of harmlessly bounce off your shell.
Oh, it hurts so much, large fish person.
It's very patronizing. I like it. Nevermore.
Going to bonus action move the Hunter's Mark to the hurt guy
Mm-hmm.
and go for him.
Go for it.
Please click. Oh.
Please.
12?
12 is not quite enough.
Okay.
And anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Move the bonus action for the already.
Right. So, Enola, what you doing, fam?
Just, God, you're so large and you're still in front. Look, it's time to let go. Even Ali Mugugun would agree. Please die.
It's Lee Mugugun! And your mispronunciation of his god's name wounds him so.
That's it.
Alrighty. NPC's turn.
Hey,
All right.
Jimgar, maybe you want to attack sneakily this time. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I don't really know what you mean, but I'll stab him if that's what you want. Okay, I forgot he had sneak attack. All right, so that one does hit for the first one does for 6, plus an additional 2. All right, I forgot his thing. Yeah, I apologize. Which is enough to bring him down this turn. Woo! And he's like, wow, that was a really good suggestion. Thanks, Cat. And then he turns and tries to stab the other Kua-toa and succeeds for 4 damage. Oh, no, he attacked that guy twice. Never mind. What am I doing? He does not get his third attack. That's great. Sareth down there is going to try to stab the Kua-toa in front of him. Do pretty well. Damage, and Eldith is attacking the one that is not Hunter's marked. For stab. For 9 damage. Not bad. Okay. Neural.
Okay, so now it looks like the tide is turning a bit on this side. The big one's down. Sareth is taking out one and hurt another one. There's only 2 against like 4 people, 5 people. Over on the right. So is anybody, Nevermore or Eldith, are either one of them netted or otherwise like having problems?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay.
No one is currently netted.
Okay. They're going next. He's got 2 on him. One there.
Hey, Jim Jar, if you get netted, you could be a net profit.
I don't understand the joke.
It's because it's not funny, Jim Jar. Just ignore him.
Ah, got it.
Having seen Seraph soften up that one in the back, we'll drop a mind thrust on it. Bonus action to switch to psychic assault.
Sure.
On this dude back here.
He fails, and that is just enough damage to kill him.
Good.
He clutches his head and falls to the ground.
Yep, just like we want. And then at that point, 5. How do you guys do the thing where it moves them all in a line?
Click and then right-click your starting position, and then drag your token to where you want, and right-click again, and then let go.
Click, right-click your starting position.
Yeah, like click and hold on your token, then right-click, and it'll bring up like a little.
No, it's not doing anything. When I right-click, it just drags the map around.
No, like click and hold on your token, like you're gonna move it.
Okay.
Like you're gonna drag it somewhere,
Yep.
and then right-click on its starting position, and then right-click on points around.
Oh.
And right-click on your final position and let go.
Yeah, I can't figure it out. Never mind.
Okay.
I'll figure it out some other time. I literally cannot get it to work. 15. To here. Maybe to like there. And then, yeah, I'll just prepare to throw aid wherever it's needed next.
Alrighty. Kua-toa's turn. The one down here is going to continue attacking Seraph.
Get him.
That job at it. One down here is going to attack Jim Jar because Jim Jar killed his leader. He didn't work. The ones over here. Stab, stab. One manages to get Eldith barely. Square cat.
See you.
This fella down here.
Alrighty. That'll hit.
Oh! Let
That's
that be a warning to you.
It's like, what is that? Alright. Otis.
Oh, hey, there's another one here.
Yes.
Not yeah, that one I didn't specify. Probably would not be attacking recklessly at this point.
Okay. And this guy, whose shield has not been used, is going to bring up his shield and catch your battle axe on it, or great axe. No, battle axe. And I need you to make me a strength save.
No.
You're definitely going to fail this, for sure.
Oh, man. Proficient with advantage?
You rip it out, no problem, and his shield is destroyed. So not a problem. And he looks sadly at it on the ground.
Yeah, I'll like, sorry, Jim Jar. Excuse me, Jim Jar.
No problem. That's a lot of shell. All right, well, nevermore.
He's going to scoot this way a tad. Continue attacking the guy at the bottom. Should have Hunter's Mark still. I'm guessing 18 hits.
And 18 on it. This guy is.
Then let me get the Hunter's Mark.
That is exactly the amount of damage you needed to finish him off. And
Awesome. So Hunter's Mark is going to go on this guy. And he's going to continue moving to there.
Cool. Mala.
All right, seeing the playing field a little more even, she'll turn to her little group of people and just say, turn to the Kua-toa and then turn to them and say, perhaps, through stool, we should keep one of these alive to help with Plan B. I mean, I wasn't kidding earlier when I said we can't kill the whole city. They're gonna find this pretty soon, I'm guessing. And I don't have a better idea than Plan B. And then she will just ready in action to try and knock out the one in front of her. If enough people agree through stool, I guess. If that's possible.
I mean, you'd basically just be readying an attack. But
Yeah,
to knock him
non-lethal,
out,
yeah.
you'd need to use a weapon.
Yeah, I have a sickle. I would just use the blunt end of that and try and knock him out. Knock him upside the head. Or fish
You guys
head.
can respond in quick, yes or no to how you feel about this outside.
If I hear a majority, I will try and knock him out.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Busy over here. This one's dying.
No.
Smash!
What was the question again?
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out that stupid tool.
Take one alive, yay or nay.
No, but it was just the combination of everybody's responses. It was very good.
Taking one alive. Yeah, Neural would be pro that.
Okay. All right. So it seems like you have a general agreement for the most, sort of. You got one yes and a bunch of
Meh.
either I don't care or answer unable to be
Or
read.
grunts, I think, from both Otis and
Yes.
Spirit Cat, essentially.
Correct. So who knows what that means?
That's not a grunt, that's a battle cry.
Oh,
That's a
yes.
noble sound.
I am so sorry. I was struck
All right,
by its
That
nobleness.
does not hit this gentleman, unfortunately. He
Yeah.
dodges out of the way. But Jim Joy says, "Seems like a good idea to me, I suppose." And is going to short sword him. Neither hits. Come on, Jim Joy. Sereth down there is going to attempt to stab up at his one buddy. Some damage. And Eldith is going to do the same thing up here. And do a decent amount of damage. Not dead, but it's pretty close. Neural.
Yep. Still trying to figure this dumb thing out. It's not loving me. That's fine. So which one did we vote to keep? The one that's in the middle of the group over there, or
It
just
seems
one?
like the one in Nala is next.
Okay. All right. Well, in that situation, then it looks like they've got that other one over there pretty pinned in. So he will move down to this one, and we're gonna try another. He's just gonna reach out with his mace and just kind of like tap him on the side of the head with it, and mind thrust. Keep rolling those. It's just a 10 every time with this. Like, it's always hitting the 8.
Well, he fails, so doesn't kill him, but he does not seem pleased.
Yep.
Okay. Toa's turn. Swinging at Sereth. Not gonna hit. Swinging at Otis. Also not gonna hit. And swinging at Nevermore, who killed his friend. And not gonna hit. All right, that was a good turn, guys. Excellent work. Spirit Cat. So what happens when you roll? The highest was a 6. Excellent.
Huh? Uh-oh.
Nope. Yeah, but doesn't kill him. If only the first one had done damage, that might have done it. But instead, he is left haggard, bleeding, but barely alive.
Well, of course, if I'd killed him outright, I couldn't taunt him properly.
Otis.
I'm gonna knock out the one that Spirit Cat missed again with a hand crossbow and then hit again with a dagger.
All right, go for it.
It's like he leads one with the other. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I'm using
Yeah,
non-lethal
okay,
damage.
Yeah, he's knocked out.
Okay.
He's for sure knocked out, as he had 1 health point remaining. So he's getting knocked out. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, Nevermore.
Back. Hopefully.
That'll hit. I'm pretty sure this guy's definitely dead. He's for sure super dead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this area down here, is this like the end, or does that go further
The cavern
on?
continues on. I just didn't reveal it because there was nothing of interest over there at the moment. But it does continue on if you wish to go down that way.
Oh, how high is it? Tall.
The
Ceiling.
ceilings in this cavern are 20 feet tall.
I think he'll stay on the ground for now. I think he's
Alrighty.
just gonna like dart over this way and just take a look to see if there's any hiding back there.
All right, you do not see any as you poke your head back there.
Okay.
In Nala, you see one is knocked out. I don't know if that changes your plan, but you see it.
Yeah, I'll look at Otis and say, well, I suppose that works, but I didn't mean for one quite so bloody. I mean, all right. And she'll just kind of look at the one in front of her. And he's still putting up a fight and stabbing people, right? So, like, there's no remorse in those giant wet fish eyes, right?
For the moment, no, he seems really scared, but also there's a bit of zeal as well. Actually, Inala, since you're thinking about this, can you give me an insight check? This does not count as an action, but since you're considering this, and you were sort of reading the group beforehand.
There we are, walking through the Underdark.
Okay. 7's not great. I will give you that it seems like the fewer their number, the harder they have been fighting. I mean, they haven't shown it in their combat ability, but in sort of the fierceness of their attacks has seemed to have been increasing as they go.
Yeah. She'll just, say something in Underdark like, you and your brothers have fought well, but in order for us to continue, this balance, must be paid or something more poetic in Underdark, but in common the translation is totally lost. And she's just gonna try and make bells ring on a bad spell. And I'm just gonna redrag it in a little bit.
Alright, that's fine, but it does do damage and it takes 4 damage. Alright. So Jim Jar is gonna come in with the 2 short sword attacks. Good job. Sarah's gonna come out with his short sword attack, fucking killing it. All right, not dead, but not literally killing it, but metaphorically killing it. Eldith is going to run to here, pulling out her hand crossbow, and try to shoot him through cover. She succeeds, and this guy dies. And that is all of the Kua-toa. Are you doing anything before we're going to break in just a moment, but are you doing anything with the Kua-toa that's unconscious?
Withdrawing my dagger and taking it back.
Okay.
And then onto the other and the other.
I would assume
tying it up.
Yeah, I would assume binding it would be the smart move.
Okay. So we're going to say you guys tie it up. We will resume after break right here, basically. You've tied up this Kua-toa, battle has just ended. And we can pick up there. But we've gone on a while with no break. So break time!
Break time!
Break.
Sean, would you say during this break we should apply hit point increases? Maybe some skills?
You mean like perhaps a level up?
Like perhaps a level up? I feel like we've done a lot.
We've done some. I don't know about a lot.
I mean,
no, there's an event that needs to happen, and then things will level you up. If things go well tonight, it might happen.
Ooh.
Maybe. We'll see.
We've got an hour and 15 minutes to make Jim Jar the king of the Kua-toa.
All right.
Or, murder the whole city.
We'll cut off each of their heads and mount them on him. So he'll be like a mass of Kua-toa heads, like the elephant heads from Dumbo's Dream.
All right, and on that terrifying note, I'll be right back.
Can't figure figure out how to make the token move.
I have never in all my life died. There is a cure for everything except death.
There's a cure for that too, technically.
Figure eights!
Okay, so that worked on your screen because it didn't work on my screen.
You don't get to see it. You don't get to see it move. Only everybody else.
That's so dumb.
Right?
That has been repeated several times.
It's okay. Now everybody got to see it.
I have returned.
Yay!
Yay!
So
Smash!
for the record, Sean,
Uh-huh.
I looked up the movement rule.
Uh-huh.
So default player's handbook is every space is 5 feet, even diagonal. There is an option. There is an optional rule. Excuse me. That seems to be what this is using, which is the first move. The first square is 5 feet, then 10 feet, then 5 feet, then 10 feet.
Okay.
So it seems to be using the optional rule.
I see. Okay.
Does it have like the options in the pages to change that?
It does, yes. I'm not sure why it defaulted to that way, but I will change it to the 5e way.
I think the optional one I think they refer to as the 4th edition method, maybe, or something.
I
know
am
there-
unsure.
I know there's a thing in the game like
There is, yeah.
Things.
Right now it's set to Pathfinder 3.5, and then there is D&D 5/4.
Oh, we must have updated that too, because it didn't. I don't think it used to even mention 5 in there. But yeah, I think that was the default rule for 3rd edition too. I think because yeah, technically the diagonal thing breaks over longer distances if you're doing 5 feet a shot, but it's quicker.
Right. Okay. Turns, the turn order.
So he has a bound fish.
You do. Is everyone back? Specifically, Sin/Kyle,
Yes, yes, yes.
or Sile, or Ken. Okay, good. So you guys have finished battle, and you have a bound fish. This one specifically, fish person. For people, I don't like that. But here I'm gonna get rid of these bodies.
So people is bad.
I mean, it feels a little racist. Get rid of these guys. All right, there you go.
So no people, no person.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But so now what's the plan? Sarah, sort of.
Yes, we get your opinion, Sareth. Not
I
with
feel
us.
like I've got a second wind.
Well, that didn't go very well.
I just said, aha.
No, and I don't think it's entirely your fault this time. I think they're just a little jumpy.
Who looks worse, Sanala or Jimjar? Nevermore wants to try something that he's never done before.
Inala.
It's a good. Who looks worse? I want to try something new.
Yes, so he's gonna look at Anala and say, hold still a sec, I want to try something. Poof.
Well, that was something.
Did
That
better?
was- yes, that was lovely. Thank you.
It worked.
You've never done that before. That was your first time doing that. Interesting. Yes, no, very well done. Feel much better.
Neural is
Minty.
squatting on his haunches over by the Kua-toa, like looking it over.
What does he look like, Neural? Is he? He was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
he's totally muted.
Gosh darn it. I took a drink and I forgot to unmute myself.
We want to hear every slurp, Sean.
Nope. He looks like. I don't want that. He looks like a fish person.
Come on,
he's wearing rags. He's got a ruined shield, a spear, a net, and around his neck is a collection of. There's like a weird bone carving.
Does it appear to be representative of anything, or?
I mean, clearly it was carved to look like something.
Yeah, but I mean, can I tell what?
It looks like it's kind of confusing at first, so you sort of puzzle it over, and it looks like a manta ray with 2 octopuses on top of it, and their tentacles all splayed out over the breadth of the manta ray.
Are any of the others wearing similar?
They all have the same thing.
Oh, okay.
The Magroon, I'm guessing.
Yeah, did the bigger guy have like a bigger, more pronounced version of that kind of necklace thing?
A little bit, yeah. His was slightly larger and slightly nicer, but other than that. The big guy actually didn't have a whole lot on him, just in general. That was kind of his big thing.
Yeah.
Spirit Cat is squatted down in front of the big guy. He's got his tinker's gloves on, 2 pieces of copper wire, one shoved into each of the guy's hands, and he's slowly bringing them together, see if he can get a spark.
There is no spark. His electricity is gone. That, by the way, what I just typed is how you spell Limu Gugu. So you guys can see what I'm working with here. Just
I mean,
Oh, I thought you made. God, okay. I'm like, maybe he's just taking what's in the book and just like reversing it or changing it, but you're literally going based on
No,
that.
that's
cool.
That's Limu Gugu. I changed.
There should be more G's in there somewhere.
I believe a double G should be like.
Doesn't sound like a G noise.
Well, why don't sound like elves, but that's an actual thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the double G's would be more like a glottal stop in there.
Ugh.
Especially for fish.
Exactly. Yeah, like a limu glutboon.
That would be
Well,
painful
this
to
one's
say
out of
repeatedly.
juice.
Yep. So we have your captive. What is your plan for this one?
Well, plan A was to just go in there and hope that we were able to get the. Well, what do we need? Just a boat to get across the lake? Is that all that we've decided that we need as a group together? Just one boat?
Well, depends how big the boat is.
And he looks over at Otis.
Never stops
wait.
being an inconvenience.
Did we bring the bathtub? If so, we could tow him behind.
No, and even if you did, it had quite a few holes in it from arrows and so it's not gonna float.
It's fine. Just give me a bucket. It's fine. Bail that out all day.
You need a pretty big bucket.
So, what do we need out of this place? I guess we should have decided that before coming up with plan A and B, but either way, they're still good plans. But what do we need? Just a couple boats to get us across the lake and to get through here alive, is that correct?
Well, I could use some sulfur.
Any sorts of supplies and
Arsenic.
provisions for the trip.
Do you know if instead of buying or acquiring boats, if they have like ferry? They live here.
Would
And
I
other-
know
y-
that, DM?
You would know that the Kua-toa are often hired for their ability to navigate the waterways of the Dark Lake. But they don't have a ferry or anything, no.
So, I know
So
that they don't have a ferry, but maybe if we befriend the right person.
Perhaps this fellow, and he picks up the unconscious one.
I'm gonna guess no, because his blood is all over himself. So, but, you know, he's the plan B assist. So plan A, we go in town, befriend somebody, get the things we need, and if you guys have a shopping list, perhaps they can be persuaded to go and get those things. But either way, I don't think, even if we took these necklaces and put them on, we're going to be able to pass for the Kua-toa guard that we just slaughtered. Which I'm not entirely okay with, but they wouldn't be reasoned with. So, plan B for this little guy here was, Jim Jar, you become, a prophet of, Jim Lee Goo Goo Jar. And you would take that role and you would say that it is the will of the past god of Limu Gugun to, usher in the age of a new prophet. And we tried to tell them, but they wouldn't listen.
Maybe we should try to find people that seem to be getting bored of Limu Gugun. Because didn't you say, like, their belief is enough to give themselves power? Like, if they're in that mode, it's probably going to be a lot harder to convince them to switch to a new god. But if we could find some people that are getting bored or disenfranchised with it, maybe that would be an easier go.
I am all for that, but she's also, like, trying to drive home the fact that we just slaughtered a bunch of people at one of the gates entry to the city, so time is of the essence. But
Is
I
that
agree.
where we are? Are we, like, at the gates of the city?
Sean, unmute.
We're not unmuted. You guys are not at the gates of the city. You're probably, you'd guess, a mile away.
Well, I mean, we can try and assume that no one's ever going to be looking for this group of people set to, I'm sure, guard the city in some way. No. Maybe just a random patrol. Maybe we're lucky. If you guys want to bury them and continue moving, that's fine. We can try for plan A again. But maybe Spirit Cat doesn't lead this one. No offense, but your voice seemed to irritate them.
Ouch.
Otis, you're awfully soothing. Sometimes. That was terrifying what you just did, but, mostly. You're very calming. And you were about the size of that last one.
I don't know all that much about them. Maybe we can pull it off, and I can just talk like this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all on team bury the bodies.
Bury the bodies, and then I guess she'll propose, if we don't have to slaughter this one, we can take him with us and say that we found, somebody that was attacked and we came to bring him back to his town. Or we can slaughter him and add him to the nest, but she is not of that mind.
He's going to wake up at some point and start, pointing scaly fingers at us.
I mean, maybe he'll point scaly fingers at us if he's not around the other believers, though. Maybe he doesn't have as many powers if we just defeated all of his people. I don't know. I mean, we can just kill him. I just, she's not too terribly eager to add another body to the pile. When there's other ways that he could be useful, possibly.
Well, whether or not this guy gets added to the pile is be a survival check to see if Nevermore can disguise the gravesite so it doesn't stand out as a gravesite.
I mean, you can, you can do that. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, that's not too bad. And I mean, the Underdark, there's mass graves everywhere in the Underdark, so that's not that unusual.
He's not from there.
Sure.
So he's thinking like a surface dweller.
All right. He's drawing upon his experience of covering up mass graves on the surface and applying that down here. Sure. Okay, yeah, you can do that. Are you adding your unconscious buddy into that pile? Are you going to wake him up?
and try to talk to him.
Spirit Cat's kind of giggling as he walks over and he takes his hand and like super big drama gesture, swings it out, and then swings it back to smack the unconscious Kua-toa and try and wake it up.
Okay, so you are smacking.
Yes.
Okay.
Look! I just smacked a dead fish.
You
He's not
startle
dead.
him awake, and he says, "Oh, oh!" And he sort of flops around trying to get out of his binds, but finds he cannot. And then the guy says, are you going to kill me?
Stool! What's he saying?
I can brain link everybody, and you can understand him.
Ah.
Well, not everybody. I could brain link 6 people. So I don't know. I'll leave.
That's enough so that the people
Yeah.
who can't speak Undercommon can understand.
Exactly.
Ah! Now I understand what you're saying. Hello.
Hello?
So why exactly were you trying to kill us?
We needed sacrifices! Limugugu demands blood!
Oh, well done then. You made excellent sacrifices. Look at that pile.
We did! Limugugu will be pleased!
Well, problem solved then.
Spirit Cat kind of looks over at the others.
I was trying to smack. He disarmed me.
What was that?
I got nothing. What are you doing?
Sean broke Casey for the first time ever.
I didn't catch what.
I was trying to smack talk. I got nothing. What do you do with
He
that?
tried to smack talk saying, "Oh, you did a great job getting blood for Limugugu," indicating to all of his dead friends.
Right,
And he was
right.
like, "Yes, we did a fantastic job. You're right."
Yeah, no, I mean it's and again cutting the Kua-toa momentarily out of the. Or actually, not even even cutting out, just speaking in common out loud. As I said, mad every last one. Approaching this rationally will only get everyone killed.
Spirit Cat turns, walks away a few steps, taps Neural on the shoulder as he goes,
You're in, buddy.
I'm in what?
Tag in. You're in. You're up. Go get him.
There's.
I have the
nothing
tiger.
We're good. We have their sacrifices. Blood has been shed. They'll be happy with that. They don't care where the blood comes from.
And Nevermore just be like, yeah, you did a great job sending your minions out to become sacrifices.
Thank you.
Roping him back into the conversation. Yes, Lemugugun will be very pleased with you.
He will.
You will be a great hero.
I hope so.
I don't know if it's worth it, but like,
And at that, I'll begin untying his bonds.
just like,
Oh, I get it. Wait, what? No, I don't.
that's like, Nevermore is just like I'm gonna roll an insight. It's pointless, but just to see if it's like,
Yeah,
well, I was gonna say like whether he's like being crazy or just trying to get out of the bonds, like if he's legit believing that this was a thing, or if he's just.
I will go.
He's fucking nuts.
I
Dude.
will go and take the necklace off the leader and bring it over and put it around his neck.
Oh, a promotion.
And I will pat his slimy, scaly head and you did very well.
Thank you. So you are followers of Limugugun as well? I thought when you attacked us, you were followers of Blibdool Poop.
No, he commanded us to sacrifice your scouts in his name.
Give me a deception check on that one.
Oh, I get it. No, wait, what?
He's prepared to believe you, but
Yeah, I know, and I got a -1 to this, but let's give it a shot.
Would everyone else being here help? Maybe help assist.
Oh,
Help!
I don't know.
It was
I mean, we're all
mostly
nodding.
Neryl
Everyone
Yeah,
here is
on
nodding, right?
On this one.
Yeah.
No one else was really adding in any corroborating facts or evidence or statements other
Look at all that blood! Corroborating coagulation.
coagulation. I would have given it to you, but you flubbed the coagulation, and that's no good.
Sambuca
respond to that.
sucks. That's
Yes,
what we
it
learned
does.
here.
How much Sambuca have you had tonight?
Enough.
I'm not sure you'd need a whole lot. It's just awful.
It is
Uh,
awful. This is not. I usually drink it much colder. Hang on here. I don't know the measurement of this, so
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hope this takes.
Do you have your? I don't know if you want to use your.
This is the last of my juice for the day, so I'm gonna see how much this sticks in there.
Do it.
Yep.
Do it.
Oh, actually, wait, hold on. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this might not be the best plan. Never mind. I'm not gonna do that.
Go.
No. Because I don't think it'll affect it for long enough for it to make a point.
It will always affect it long enough. His lifespan is measured in seconds.
Okay, so he's going to rub his wrists where he was bound and narrow his eyes at you and say, "Are you sure you're not a follower of the Sea Mother?"
All right. Well, then. Okay. Now I will need to do this. So I'm going to use Occluded Mind, my last 2 psi points.
Mm-hmm.
As an action, you target one creature you can communicate with via telepathy. The target must make an intelligence save. On a failed save, he believes one statement of your choice for the next 5 minutes you can communicate via telepathy. Statement can be up to 10 words long and must describe you or a creature or an object the target can see. On the successful save, the target is unaffected. You can't use this ability again until finish long rest. If they're immune to being charmed, it doesn't work.
Okay, they are not immune to me.
Okay, well, thank God for that.
So he save.
Yeah.
DC.
14.
14. Oh my goodness. This Kua-toa has a mind like a steel trap.
Yeah.
And he looks at
Rusty
you
steel trap?
and he says, I think you're trying to trick me. I think that you followers of Sea Mother, but is okay. You give us what we want regardless. And he picks up his stuff and says, "If you're going to Sloobladoop, would recommend choosing winning side. Sea Mother is weak. Her followers will be dead soon. Limu holds the true power in Sloobladoop." He's gonna try to just walk away.
Yep. Neuro kind of looks at the rest of the group and kind of gives like a half shrug, like, eh.
Spirit Catch sort of shrugs back like,
Blood and souls for my Lord Ariok? Oh.
No. Do not think the Lords of Chaos are on our side here.
He turns back and says, "Hey, that's a different fantasy franchise. That's not fair."
And he just continues to walk up.
He's just gonna keep walking.
I'm gonna try to get telepathic contact with him before he gets out of range and ask him, do the sacrifices need to come back to the city or are they fine here?
And he says, "That's fine. We have a greater sacrifice prepared that should greatly please Limu Gogoon.
Okay.
Feel free to come see it if you like. The altar's in the center of the city, near the Dark Lake."
Okay. I was just wondering whether or not we needed to drag these corpses back for like, hey, here you go, throw them on the pyre or whatever.
Nope. They have a better sacrifice.
Are you going back to the city?
Yeah.
I'll take one of the necklaces off one of the dead ones.
I think that's
Buddy, do you know a good, reputable guide who's a follower of Slibadoobaloo?
Follower of who?
The thing you said.
Leeboo-goo-goo, the Deep Father?
Yes. Look, buddy, I just don't have the tongue for that one.
Do any of them have any other stuff on them besides their weapons?
They've got their shitty weapons and their shitty shields, and that's really it.
No shitty clamshells or whatever they use for fucking money at the Dark Lake.
No.
Okay.
He says, Bloblipod has demanded the return of all followers. None of Leeboo-goo-goo will lead you, unless you can find someone of ill repute.
Spirit Cat looks back at Inala.
Did the kids and the prince and Stool ever make it in?
Yeah, they've been waiting outside because there was combat, and that's their general MO.
I see. Okay, they're
Stay out of the way.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't know if you either forgot to bring them in or they were just like hanging way the fuck back.
And this Kua-toa walks off into the tunnels.
What if, I was gonna have Nevermore say, like, what if we want to convert?
And
He said, go to the shrine of the Deep Father. Bliplipod will be happy to have you
Whoa.
as a sacrifice.
Oh, okay. So he's a lot better at smack talk than I am. Just so we're clear.
Neural looks down at Spirit Cat, says nothing, walks on.
He didn't even
Take
smack talk.
notes, Spirit.
He just totally sidestepped your intended smack talk. Just that was it. It's game over, man.
I'm gonna keep heading on. I don't want to lose sight of this guy.
Oh, okay. You're following him?
Yeah.
Is everyone else following him? Because he's just walking. Like, he's not stopping for you guys.
I suppose.
Unless people want to stop to like take a rest or something.
Are we saying we buried the guys before he woke up, or because that was the thing that was happening?
Is it even possible? Like, is there enough dirt to bury them, or is this like stone?
He rolled pretty high for.
I would say you could find some place you could put him that's at least mostly hidden.
Okay.
So
Spiked on the crystal outcroppings.
right.
Yeah.
Like that tree in the beginning of 300. Okay, sure. So is everyone wants to follow this Kua-toa? Is that the plan? I know that's what Neural wants to do, but is that what other people want to do as well?
Spirit Cat's just trotting after Neural, like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Guys?
Well, I mean, we shouldn't get lost, at least. I guess. Maybe.
He doesn't want to lead, but that doesn't mean we can't follow.
All right. Is that yes? No?
Yes?
Seems like yes.
We'll follow the Kua-toa back home.
Okay.
Follow the Kua-toa
So I guess
back
that is what is going to happen.
Follow.
So you guys follow the Kua-toa. And he walks back towards Slobodoo. And you guys figured it was about a mile, which in the Underdark is actually a kind of fair distance, considering you walk 6 miles in a day usually. So that's probably about 2 hours of journey. And towards the, or not 2 hours, but over an hour. And towards the end of, you're probably about 3/4 of the way through this. You guys are walking along. Are you like walking with the Kua-toa, or are you just like sort of a little bit behind him, just sort of following him as he walks along?
How fast does he walk?
Just
I.e.,
like
what is his
normal.
movement speed?
A normal person walking speed, so faster than Spirit Cat.
So every, say, other minute, Spirit Cat's walking beside him, and he slowly falls back, and he runs up ahead, and he slowly falls back, and he's talking the entire time, explaining all about the intricacies of dragon slaying in common, without the benefit of the telepathic link.
Okay, excellent. What about the others?
Evermore's a little back, but he's keeping an eye on Fish Guy in case he gets too annoyed with Spirit Cat. But he's like not really scouting, but staying ahead.
The trick
Okay,
to
so are
doing
you ahead or behind?
Like behind Spirit Cat and them, but
Uh-huh.
probably ahead of everybody else, unless everybody else is clumped up around.
Okay, Neural. I know you were following him pretty closely. Are you right up on him as well, or are you sticking with what Nevermore just said?
I mean, I don't want to let him out of my sight. Like, I'm not like walking like hand in hand with him, skipping and
Right.
singing the song, but like I'll stick closer to the group, but I'm definitely not letting him get out of visual
Okay.
range.
That's fine. So Nevermore and Spirit Cat, it sounds like, are a little bit ahead, and the other people are a little bit behind, still in visual distance. I imagine that Spirit Cat is up next to him, and then like 15 feet behind is Nevermore, and then like 15 feet behind is Thursday.
I developed a novel way to fight dragons with daggers.
He is just totally ignoring you. And let me check something to see if this is accurate. I'm going to move back to this map for the moment. You are sort of following behind him, and Spirit Cat, you're telling him about your novel way to fight dragons.
It's either going to work really well against him or against one vampire.
And as you're
I call
telling
it
him this,
dracupuncture.
you notice he stops, and you realize that the reason he has stopped is that there is a spear in his chest. And as you look around, you guys realize that there are some Kua-toa who seem much better at hiding than the other ones were, because the other ones were not good at hiding at all. And one of them has chucked a spear into this Kua-toa's chest, and he looks down at it, and then he just collapses to the ground because he had one. And
Good
how
shot!
are you going to react to this thing? It's worth noting that's the only spear that's been thrown.
I react as one does in the Underdark.
Yaha!
Okay. Yeah.
Do I notice if any of them have the same necklaces on?
Give me a perception check to see if you notice that.
Oh,
Because
boy.
it's not super
Right.
obvious just at a glance.
19?
Okay, they have necklaces, but they are different.
They are different.
They are
I'm going to assume what they say the other one was, the something father.
the Deep Father was Limu Gugun, and the
Oh, the
other
Deep
was the Sea Mother, and
Okay.
that was, wait for it now, I need the proper Kua-toa name.
Oh, is it what, Blibdool Pool?
Blip Dual Pool.
Yeah. And when that happens, I will immediately, assuming, I mean, not knowing that this is necessarily what this is from, but I'll mind link everybody who's close by and immediately like inform them, opposite faction.
Hey, do you bliptle poop? I bliptle poop. Who
Okay.
knew?
Nevermore and Otis and Anelda, what are you doing in response to this assassination that just happened?
Nevermore's gonna get a defensive stance and put his hand on his glaive, but he's not drawing it entirely. He's just kind of like waiting, pausing real quick and assessing. Can we tell how many?
Yeah, how many are there?
There are 9 total.
Are they mighty?
3 of them are quite mighty.
I don't know that the mighty 3 of 9 rolls off the tongue quite as well.
What about Otis or Anala?
I mean, that's That's just how life goes. Kua-toa throwing spears into Kua-toa. Totally normal. I mean, getting ready to go into my shell if they're going to keep throwing stuff, but...
Okay. Inala?
Are we still stool or neural connected at all?
I connected everybody that's close by. Like I assume the party members, like the active ones, not the ones who haven't been participating.
Yeah, so I would just say through the neural system something along the lines of, are we going along with this new blip? Are we blips now? And
That would
she's
seem to
looking,
be probably the smartest move in this moment, unless we don't want another fight.
and she would recommend that anybody with a necklace on just like
I didn't
somehow
wear it. I tucked it in my stuff.
Yeah, no one said they were putting it on.
Yeah, I just took one with me.
Okay. So you guys have this quick mental conversation, and as you do, one of the larger-looking Kua-toa, who's wearing robes and has a staff, steps forward and says, "I am Plo-Plo-Peen. Be you followers of Limugugun or the Sea Mother?"
See mother
for the win.
Mentally, see mother to Inala, and I'd be like, yeah, tell them we just murdered the other one's followers, and like,
okay, she'll do that.
Okay. So you tell them that you are totally pro Sea Mother, and you murdered a bunch of Limugugun-ites.
Yep. And
ways back.
if someone nearby her has the necklaces that they
Yep.
definitely aren't wearing, then I will take one and throw
yeah,
it down.
that's what I was gonna say.
just-
Like, yeah, after she says that, like, Nora will take his out and like throw it at the body of the dead one.
And like maybe point out like, look how beat to shit this guy is. We were using him to bring us to the rest of the followers of bloop 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 doop bloop bloop.
One of the larger Kua-toa goes over and sort of inspects the body and stands up and nods at the one who was talking to you. And it turns back and says, "I see you do not appear to be lying. This is good. I am an archpriest of the Sea Mother, Blibdul Pulp. She answers my prayers by your arrival. I require your assistance, outsiders."
How may we be of service? Underdark's a little rusty.
Makes a weird facial gesture that might be smiling, but he's a fish, so it's hard to tell. It says, "Excellent. You have, seeing as you have encountered the followers of Limugugun, you are aware they are a pox upon this land. Violent and angry. They need to be dealt with. If you will assist me in this, I will provide you with supplies. Supplies it looks like you could use."
She'll translate the stuff through anybody that can't understand it, and just, she's not 100% on board with just like seeking people out just to murder them. I mean, she thinks boats aren't worth that much. She doesn't want to die herself,
Yeah.
but
Nevermore's a bounty hunter, not an assassin.
They'll just be turning on one another and murdering each other tomorrow.
I'm sorry, did he offer something for our services yet?
He said supplies.
Supplies.
Mm-hmm.
And just how many of the followers of Limugugun are we to seek out?
Plu Plu Pleen says, you will assist us in cutting off the head. These followers of Limugugun have been killing our people. We are not violent, or at least we were not until this most recent upstart started her work. If you can help me eliminate the archpriest of Limugugun, I will provide you with what it is you need.
Are we starting with the archpriest? Like, we're not just killing a bunch of minions, we're going straight for the head, yes?
Indeed.
Sounds good, guys? And she's, like, mumbling this as she's trying to keep the conversation going with...
Yep.
I'd like to
It's a
see
dead
if
or alive bounty.
they were.
What are you trying to insight?
Sorry there. Whether or not the Kua, like his faction of Kua-toa, were violent before, like if he's telling the whole story around that part of the story.
They were not violent before. That's pretty true, at least as far as their religious ceremonies go. They were definitely not violent before, not in this way.
Nevermore's gonna ask out loud in common, should we mention that they were talking about a special sacrifice for this guy? The guy that just got speared in the chest was talking about there's gonna be a special sacrifice in the center of the city or something.
A special sacrifice that was Limugugun centered, or...
Yes.
Okay.
Information to offer.
Yeah, I mean, why not? That's only helpful. I mean, and she's much more on board killing the head of the thing, and then hopefully, not all the legs of the evil spider have to die. Maybe they do, though. Yeah, so she'll relay that little tidbit as she points down to the dead body and says, well, he was talking about some big coup going on in the center of the city. Is that what you're speaking of? Or do you know that?
He says, the archpriestess has acquired a Durgar she intends to sacrifice. This is escalation. The Durgar are not people we want to make enemies of.
Yeah, no, she needs to be put down. Sounds good. Yes, on board. What's the plan, Stan?
Excellent. Here, I will tell you the plan.
You said this was
you might not like it, but
I was gonna say you said this was around the equivalent of midday when we got here.
Yeah.
Would
Okay.
we be able to tell?
Yeah. I mean, knowing by our fatigue levels, I would assume.
Right. It's about lunchtime,
Yeah.
basically. You tell by how tired you feel and how hungry you feel, basically, is how you tell time. He says they have the Durgar, but they are always hungry for more sacrifices. They have also grown arrogant. The people increasingly follow this Limugugun. If I brought you as potential sacrifices, you would not need to be bound, nor would your weapons need to be removed. They like it when they fight back. I will bring you as a peace offering, saying that the rift in our peoples needs to be mended, and I have seen the light of Limugugun. Then we will attack and kill the archpriestess. Hopefully, with her death, the others will lose interest in Limugugun.
Do I believe him?
Okay.
That he's not going to turn on this?
Yes. This does seem to be an honest plan, and this all seems above board. However, you can tell whenever he mentions the archpriestess, he gets kind of uncomfortable and looks away. There's something about that seems not necessarily like he's lying to you, but like he's not revealing all the information that's available.
Sounds good. Murdering this high priestess. What's her name?
Bloplipod.
Ah, that's a beautiful name. Um,
Thank you.
and how will we recognize this? Does she look similar to you or anyone else here?
I understand you outsiders have difficulty telling us apart. However, she will
Hey,
be the
hey.
one.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Not all of us think you look the same.
Uh,
That's just the drow ones.
I see. Well, regardless, she will be the one in the maroon robes, wielding a dagger. I don't know, to cut your hearts out with. Is
Has she been in charge
unfortunate.
long? This one?
She received. She was the first to know of Limu Gugun. She received a vision, not a few weeks ago.
You seem to know an awful lot about the timeline surrounding the vision of this high priestess. You seem to have taken an interest in her. You wouldn't happen to know her personally, would you?
He looks at you, and if he was capable of glaring, he might, and he would say, "You are most perceptive, drow. Bloplipod is my daughter."
A moment, please. And then the neural network. Yeah. So he wants us to murder his daughter, basically. I'm guessing he might be a little too close to this situation, but still go ahead with the deal, or what?
You know, it's funny he thinks you're perceptive with such bad eyesight.
You're a
Rocks fall
snack
into
to them,
spirit
spirit
guys.
What?
So it's his daughter. Does that change anything for anybody? Do you think at the last minute he might have second thoughts?
It's
Everyone is
possible.
someone's daughter. Or son. Odd saying.
We'd have to keep him out of it as much as possible.
I
But
think
it's very possible that he might change his mind. But it depends on her mental state as well, how much she cares about him.
I'd also say it was very real what he was saying earlier about his people not being violent and the new ones being violent. He knows what needs to be done. Maybe, I mean, maybe he won't even break. Because if you make the choice to even think about killing your own daughter, and it's over a moral ground issue, I don't think that's going to change.
Mad as they may be, he seems pragmatic enough.
All right. Sorry for that delay. Yes, we're still on board to kill your daughter. Seems like she, she's a pretty big, source of evil around here, and everybody would be pretty much better off. No offense, of course. Or something.
He says, "Yes, it is unfortunate that things have come to this, but she does not listen to reason. I have tried every other avenue available to me. So, if you are interested, we can return to Sloobladoop and make the preparations. They plan to kill the Durgar tomorrow. It seems to me that is the best chance for us to strike.
And what do you know of this Durgar or where they keep him or her?
This Durgar is a traitor they captured. As far as I'm aware, he is no one important. They keep him at the shrine.
Wait, like a traitor or like a traitor?
Trader.
Okay.
Not traitor. They do sound the same. Those are my.
It's the Kua-toa accent.
Yeah.
And was there any particular reason they targeted this, just to start a war between the two?
The more dangerous the sacrifice, they believe the greater Limugun is pleased.
Makes total sense. Okay.
Yes.
It
Traders
does if
are.
you're crazy, I suppose.
All right.
And then he turns and looks at the camera.
So we have until tomorrow around this time before the Druger is sentenced to be killed.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Okay. And killed via what method did you say?
She will cut his heart out with a dagger.
Seems simple enough. Okay. So we're thwarting a dagger tomorrow at dawn. Where are we resting?
If you wish, I can provide you a safe place to rest. If you stay outside the city, it is possible another patrol, like this one, pointing at the dead Kua-toa, will find you.
Yeah, let's go for not that. You guys cool with not that? Not outside? Or... Cool. Silence means that my friends are all on board.
Oh, yes.
Excellent! We Kua-toa reach consensus in a similar manner. And he goes to turn around and then turns back and says, I see you have some children. And he points at Topsy and Turvy and then Jim Jar and then Spirit Cat. If you wish, they can remain behind and you can collect them after the deed is done at my place of residence.
Oh, thank you.
Not sure how comfortable I am with that.
Yes, some of those could stay behind. We appreciate that. They are not combat ready. But some others are just of small stature. And she's like struggling to find the words as she's staring at Spirit Cat. Just small. But they are fighters nonetheless. So
As you wish. It is hard telling which of you fleshy ones are full grown or not, other than height.
Oh, no, I completely agree. What do you make of this one over here? And she, like, nods her head towards Otis.
Oh, he is most interesting, though I also feel a strange kinship with him.
It's the aquatic life.
I see. It does provide a certain clarity of mind, does it not?
It does. This is weird. Like, this is really weird to Otis, considering all that he's heard before. This is making sense, and these are not supposed to make sense. Yes, I would actually like to hear more. On the way to your place of residence.
Excellent.
Phil back.
Come, follow me.
To Stan's house.
No. To Plu-Plu-Pleen's house.
Stan is so much easier.
Oh, Plu-Plu-Pleen,
Yes.
I wish to offer you a small comfort.
What is that?
Do keep your prayers of your daughter in mind, because it is very common for a trader to turn a profit.
I don't understand.
A trader to turn a profit.
I cut Spirit Cat out of the mental loop.
It seems that one, his brain is not yet done developing.
You are correct.
I see.
He just continues repeating himself in common.
Follow me.
And he turns, and the other Kua-toa fall in step with you guys. And you head to Slubladoo.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so as you, after about another 20 minutes of walking, you eventually come into an enormous cavern, by far the largest you've been in the Underdark.
You can't even begin to guess where the other side is or how far away it is, but you can see it is at the edge of right where you're standing is a narrow strip of land next to an enormous body of water that you gather is one portion of the dark. And off in the distance, one of the only points of light in this cavern is what you gather is Slubladup. And from a distance, it almost looks like you're looking at seaweed swaying underwater. However, you realize it's the buildings the Kua-toa have made are very vertical, sometimes as much as 30 feet tall, and their haphazard construction makes them move side to side slightly in the limited breeze that exists in the dark lake. And it's weirdly hypnotic, but also kind of terrifying, because if they're swaying, I don't know how good they are at being buildings. But you can see it off in the distance, and there's you can see a large wooden wall surrounding it on either side of from the land, and docks stretching out into the dark lake. And you walk along this relatively narrow strip of land. It's actually like 200 feet long, or 200 feet wide. But compared to the cavern you're in, that's nothing. And you eventually come through a gate in the wall to Slubladup proper. You guys should be able to see that. We'll bring out a stool. Let's use the customary party marker. You come in through this gate. You come down through here. Kua-toa passing you, giving you rather odd looks, but none saying anything. And come to here, a shrine. A 9-foot-tall statue stands here. Its body is roughly carved from some kind of wood in the shape of a humanoid female. Its head and forearms formed from the severed head and claws of a giant albino crayfish. These parts are lashed on with strands of gut and emit an overpowering stench of rotting shellfish. Shells, brightly colored stones, mushrooms, and rotting fish are piled at the statue's feet and strung in garlands around its neck. 4 stern Kua-toa slowly circle the statue, alert and on guard, while a few others mill about, gazing up at the statue and bowing repeatedly while chanting.
I'd like to react as Spirit Cat.
Fair.
I think that's a pretty standard reaction. Everyone was like, "Oh God, why this?"
And as you guys are approaching,
I offer you a gift from my bowels.
It's funny you say that, because Ploop Pete turns around and says, "Oh, this one's a natural." And you see one of the Kua-toa go up and vomit onto the pile of stuff.
Oh, that didn't help.
Excellent work! You honor the sea mother! I swear to God, that's in the book. I didn't make that up. I just need to let you all know. I didn't come up with this. It's in the book.
Oh, my throat.
I'm gonna need a minute.
He leads you past into this building over here. Inside is a rather Spartan affair. Basic table and chairs. It seems to be 2 floors, but the bottom contains like a basic sort of cooking area. Table and chairs, like some chairs to sit in. And that's kind of it. There's not a ton in here. There's like one shelf with some scrolls on it. And that's it. And he brings you inside and says, "Come, please. My home is open to you while you are here."
Nevermore's gonna be like, "I'm from Waterdeep, and there's some awful fish stench around the docks, but this is something altogether special here.
We've worked hard to cultivate an aroma that the Sea Mother finds pleasing.
Done an amazing job.
Thank you. And he leads you inside and says, "Now, as for your reward, if you were coming here, I gather you probably wish to travel the Dark Lake. Is that correct?"
You would be correct.
Excellent. I can provide you with boats and supplies to traverse the Dark Lake, in addition to some trinkets that we've dredged from the lake you may find useful.
Do the boats come with a Kua-toa guide?
No. If you wish to have one of those, you will have to pay one yourself, unfortunately. I cannot order away some of my followers in this trying and troubled time. No. I imagine some of the less faithful of the city will be eager to leave due to the current unrest.
Well, there's an option for us guys if we want to make sure we actually get across.
You also know, out of character, you guys know that Sereth is capable of navigating the Dark Lake as well. Whether you trust him or not is up to you, but he is capable of doing it. So, now that you have a safe spot in the city, is there anything you guys want to do before the events of tomorrow? The city you would get from Pluplupine might not be safe. You could try it, but he would recommend that you guys be quiet and quick wherever you go and whatever you do.
Nobody wants to go sample the Sloopadoop nightlife.
Yeah, you just, you might get captured and then become the next sacrifice, but in a way that does not allow you to fight back.
You know, Neural is just focused on resting and recovering and preparing for tomorrow.
Okay,
Ditto.
that's fine. Now I have a question. It's 11:45. This is going to be a thing.
Do we want to keep going or stop?
Right. We can keep going. My guess would be we finish about 1 Eastern, approximately. This is up to you guys. I'm fine with stopping here. We can push forward. It's up to you. How you guys are feeling.
I'm good to keep going if everyone else is, but I don't know what.
I don't know if like Kyle and Sin had work tomorrow or something.
We don't, but we do have people coming pretty early to rip drywall and carpet out of our
Ooh.
basement.
If you want to stop here, that's totally fine. I just wanted to give everyone the option if that's something they wanted to do. But it is totally understandable if you want to stop here, because this will be involved. What's about to happen.
See, if somebody hadn't got stuck in traffic, we could have.
Yes, I understand. That's why I'm offering it, because it's my fault we started late. I understand that.
Gosh, it's almost like he should give us the level now and then continue next week. I mean, just to make up and make everything even.
No, you've got to get out of Sloopadoop before you get the level. No.
That's what you said last time.
That's not. No, I mean, yes, it is what I said last time. It's still true. You haven't got out of Sloopadoop yet.
Haven't we, though?
No,
Isn't
in
it
fact,
within us all?
It's like
something.
Sloobladoop.
It's like we've all been in Sloobadoop this whole time.
Yeah, we learned Sloobladoop was within ourselves.
The real Sloobadoop
Okay.
was the friends we made
So-
along the way.
So we're going to stop here for the evening. Be prepared to level up mid-session next time.
Okay.
Know what you're going to get. It's level 3, so that's a big one.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank God.
And be prepared to assassinate a religious figurehead.
I mean, it's just
That's
another
cool.
Tuesday.
Aim for the one with the biggest hat.
Oh, the conclave.
Yeah, no, I
Oh, are you doing Beastmaster Nevermore?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure
I-
because we need to talk about
'cause-
that.
are you
No.
doing was it Gloomstalker or whatever?
I'm kind of like caught between Gloomstalker and the Horizon Walker. Like I really like them both. But I have a week to.
You have a week to think about it. I will say, if it helps you make your decision, find Portal might be a little bit more useful than it would be generally in this campaign.
Might be helpful.
Because, I'm not a big fan of the Horizon Walker specifically because Find Portal is really niche. But
Yeah,
I'm just letting you know.
it is an extremely niche ability if you're
Right.
dealing with a campaign that doesn't deal with a lot of planar travel shit.
Right, but due to the nature of this campaign, it will be more useful than in others, just if that helps you make your decision. Gloomstalker, though, is also basically made for this campaign, so you're not going to go wrong with either, but I just wanted to let you know that that was the case. So you didn't feel it was a useless ability before you took it.
No, because like I was thinking, Underdark, you could just fall into a portal without realizing it down there. But and I like the
Sort of, yeah.
teleporty stuff. But
It's cool.
I like them both.
As we're starting to wrap, can I throw Neural a inspiration for acting as a semi-face a lot of the time in this conversation, but in a very brusque manner?
Yeah, he's not a face character by any means. I've got a charisma penalty. Like I'm at a -1.
To
By
be
this-
honest, no one is really charismatic in this group.
Hey.
How much is
Nevermore's not
and-
bad.
And yeah, like I said, that was completely unintentional with the name. I that occurred to me during that scene that I was like, because yeah, the name came up with it independently, but then I was like, oh, haha, neural network.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, if that was intentional, that really deserves it. But
No,
other than
it
that,
was
the
it was
face
it was 100% unintentional.
and by the way, a 14 is nothing to scoff at. He's a handsome gnome.
Is that what you got? 14?
14.
Are you the highest in the group?
I have no idea.
Nevermore has the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a big fat 9.
There's a little whistle going on over there.
I still have Man of La Mancha stuck in
Sorry.
So is Casey or is Sean approving that then?
I don't know. I got a BRB real fast.
Oh, I didn't hear the BRB.
No,
He's muted. I did not see that. Oh, there it is in chat. Oops.
That's all right. By the way, come on. Trader turns a profit.
Yeah. Mhm.
What? Oh. Heathens.
Casey, like it hurt. It hurt when you said it.
Yeah. No, that got put you in telepathy timeout. It's like, nope, you're cut off.
Come on. Comedy gold. I was born an old Jewish man. Aha. Aha.
What do you know from Funny You Bastards?
Just taste the soup.
So what, is the soup too hot? Does it just taste the soup? Is the soup too cold? It says, I gotta taste the soup. Where's the spoon?
Aha. That's such a great little add-on.
I love that movie so much. I've seen that so many times.
I can't say it's a great movie.
Oh no, it's not.
but
But
there's so
I
many good little bits in it.
yeah.
Like what holds it together is the problem. Like if they could just get rid of the rest of the movie and go with the bits. The bits.
You never met Martin. Like, no, I ran to him. Somebody punched me in the chest. I fell down. I looked up. I said, "Dr. King." He says, "Oh, I thought you were somebody else." Just like all the fucking shit with the barbershop guys.
Where's he gone? I have so many questions that remain unanswered.
The cries of the llamas. They've dragged him away. Or another prolapsed cow uterus, one of the two.
Could go either way with him, really. All sorts of excuses. You're like, that's not real.
Mhm.
He pulls it out.
1 second, it's like BRB real fast. And I think it's like, so I was elbow deep in cow uterus.
Good news, we had sugar handy. Wait, what?
What?
What? The real origin of the expression, give me some sugar, baby.
the part in parentheses to shrink down that uterus. Oh, God.
Ooh. Ah, yes, some Citadel group tomorrow. Thursday, all sorts of nonsense from the Tyranny group.
And Thursday is going to have a special thingy that you'll need to give me some time for, because the special thing is specially done now. Hooray!
Wow. Like maybe a little hint, like a teaser? Kind of like the end of the show, the credits have rolled, now's the time for the clip.
Bupkis. No, but I'll
No
just
animals.
need a couple minutes before the stream, I think. And then,
No.
yeah.
No animals have been harmed in the making of this picture.
If I could easily show pictures without, like, having to go and update the overlay and blah, 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 then yes, but no.
I
It's
return.
like 3 buttons.
Hey!
Image,
How was that? How was that
tab.
uterus?
Oh, excellent. Cat's still alive too, which is good. We have to hand feed her, but
I just meant whatever the uterus you were dealing with right now, or whatever.
oh no, I just needed to drop some kids off in the pool. There's no
drop,
uterus involved.
drop the Kua-toa off at the spawning pond.
Right.
Okay.
Euphemisms get a little strange once D&D is involved.
I needed to see a man about an owl bear.
Maybe.
The drow
Hippogriff.
priestess was asking you who to drop off the cliff.
No.
So now that you had something to ask him, Casey?
I
I thought
I'd like to be 3rd level. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
That'd be neat.
That would be, wouldn't it? I think
Actually,
it'd
like
be
5th, maybe 17th.
cool. Uh-huh.
Either of those
Uh-huh.
acceptable answers.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
making those big jumps there.
Make just if we're gonna shoot, might as well shoot for the stars.
I believe that. I mean, unfortunately, you're in the Underdark, so no stars, which is a bummer.
So this
Because,
is one of the.
They say if you aim for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. But here, you'll just hit the top of the ceiling and then fall back to the ground, and it'll hurt really bad.
If I'm lucky, I could hug a roper.
You could.
I mean,
And they hug you
I'm
right
an
back.
optimist.
Yeah. It's not really a hug you want, but it's a hug you could get.
I mean, is it better to have hugs or no hugs at all? But
It's not the hug you want, but it's the hug you need right now.
What was I thinking about? Oh, I was going to ask if there was any recognizance that may be available regarding the layout of the sacrificial area, because as far as I'm aware, we were told that it's big and it's happening kind of in the center of town.
It's happening towards the Dark Lake.
Towards the Dark Lake. But this is probably a place that, the Kua-toa have been before.
Sure, yeah, totally.
And there's these rickety buildings that maybe like a sniping location could be taken from.
I don't know who you're gonna have snipe, but theoretically, yeah.
What do you mean you don't know? Hello? Hand crossbow misses every time. Sniper material right here.
I mean, a hand crossbow has a range increment of 20 feet. So
I have a range of 120 feet, just saying.
you could snipe, yeah. It is happening up here. This right here is the Shrine of the Deep Father. These two things are holding pods.
So what I'm seeing here is we should have some of our friendly ships come by and just do a cannon bombardment.
Sure, like Jada in the recent WoW cinematic, yeah.
I have not seen this thing. Thanks for the spoiler, but after I'm done crying myself to sleep, I'm sure I'll catch up on it.
I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry.
I didn't figure you were. But actually, that wasn't the reference I was going for, but it's okay. So I'm not sure what the reference I'm actually going for really exists anymore.
Could have been Pirates of the Caribbean, I suppose.
Actually, what I was going for was Elf Only Tavern, which is a webcomic I read maybe 10 years ago.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah.
You're a fucking nerd.
I am aware of this on a level that most people can't be. Because I've not only seen myself in the mirror, I've seen my children. And I realized, I'm like, damn, those are nerds. And then I'm like, damn it, I'm still worse.
I have only patched out a portion of my power.
So.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing, were you okay with Casey was throwing inspiration at me?
Oh,
yes.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, anytime that happens, that's fine.
Cool. Yay! I have a thing I can fail at better tomorrow.
The incidental neural network and the much more accidental.
That's a word.
I'm trying to figure out where incidental comes from. Sure, incidental.
From incident?
Incident? But why would an incident be incidental? That's an
because
incident.
it's one thing. An incident is kind of unto itself. It's not a recurring thing.
This is going to require more drinking.
This is going to keep you up tonight.
Who knows?
Etymology.
Etymology.
How dare it?
Oh, existentialism is the one I just got into an argument over.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah.
You're a fucking nerd.
I can't help it. It's
like
just
you say this as if you're not sitting in a chat room with a bunch of other people who chose to spend their Tuesday night playing D&D.
I know. I'm well aware. I got really excited because Gates McFadden of Star Trek Next Generation fame was on the TV earlier today. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm better.
But you're saying amongst us at this moment?
Right, at the moment, Casey is the one I want to push down and kick sand in his face.
Give him a swirly.
Give a wedgie. Give him a swirly.
Stick him in a locker.
Money. Right, exactly.
See, that's where it gets a little tricky because I'm a nerd, but I'm still a really big nerd.
Right. I mean, yeah. It's
I mean-
it's a metaphorical push down kickstand. It's
Okay.
not literal.
Because it's kind of one of those. Generally, if I am going down, I'm taking one person with me.
It's a
And-
swirly of the soul.
Right. Swirly of the soul. Yes, correct.
Soul swirly.
Correct. Bleach. All right. I'm very excited for next week's session.
Because you're going to kill us all.
Very, very, very excited.
Well, it's been a good 3 sessions, y'all.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm just happy to have made it to this one. I thought I died over the interim.
Very excited. It should be a lot of fun.
For you or for us?
Everyone. Fun for everyone.
So you mean
Come
for you.
on.
Okay.
Everyone. Everyone's going to have a great time.
Okay. I do have to wonder how long it's going to be until we lose like another NPC.
We'll
You just
see.
want to yell jinx real loud? I mean, is that what you're going for?
Well, here's a question. I know you had said in the pregame notes that NPCs weren't going to have death saves; they were just going to be dead. Does that include our fellow captives, or just like other NPCs?
That includes other NPCs. These specific ones that travel with you get death saves.
Okay, that's what I was.
Important clarification. Yes. So they will get them, but the vast majority of them will not.
You know what that means to me? Ront and Shushar were never intended to be with us because I don't remember any death saving throws.
They did not get death saving throws because they were pushed into spiders and paralyzed and bitten to death. So I could have
Exactly.
rolled them, but they would not have gotten a chance because they would have died from the attacks.
So they were
Being eaten.
intended to
being
die from the get go.
Oh no,
They were just
they were
plot
intended
points.
to die from the point you chose them after after messing up your attempt at thievery.
See, I remember a
Eating
drow
peas.
priestess, kind-hearted soul,
She was such a kind soul. Yes.
a paragon of priestessnesses.
Yes. That's what I think.
Which is a little weird that we got stuck with this mean one.
Oh, that's mean. I don't think Sid was ready to hear it, but I'll be offended for her. Ivara literally killed 2 people in front of you, and you're like, yeah, but in Nala, though, right?
She keeps being like, your ideas are bad and you should feel bad. And I'm like, that's not cool.
Well, I mean, is she wrong, though?
So look, I mean, it would be very expedient just like throw each person off the ledge and spare the dying when they land. I mean, come on, that's like the perfect plan. And
For that to work.
but there'd be like so much of them to touch. They'd be like spread out over, a good 10 to 15 foot radius, depending on where they landed. I mean, Otis would probably cover a half acre.
You're just gonna be gone for a while. I guess you can just talk all the smack about him you want.
Nah.
So Otis totally is. He's gonna give us salmonella, right?
I hear they do that.
Yeah.
Is he like the readier typed?
I don't know.
Okay, I didn't get back in time for the first one, but the second one. You guys get me some actual cooking equipment, and nobody's gonna get salmonella.
No,
Maybe
that means
Kua-toa has
turtles
some.
can give you salmonella.
Just
Yeah, no,
by
we didn't
existing.
mean you're cooking. We just meant you.
Oh shit! Really?
Like-
Things I never knew.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like
I mean,
if you were playing with a turtle or touching a turtle, you have to wash your hands like right after because they could be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turtles can be a vector for salmonella.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's a good thing I'm a turtle. Gonna go ahead and bend that one.
All right, Google, answer for me. Can this really happen? Wow. And other reptiles.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I think this might be why Spiroquet needs to take out dragons. His family died from a salmonella infection.
One time when I was a kid, I saved a box turtle and I put it back in the pond. And then because I was a kid, I never washed my hands, and then I got horrible food poisoning.
Nice.
It was pretty cool. I regret nothing. That box turtle was fucking sweet.
You don't have to touch the turtle to get sick. They can just shoot you with laser beams.
Yep.
Range
salmonella beam.
Range salmonella attack, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess that this particular page is a little alarmist.
What level does Otis get that ability at?
Salmonella strike?
Range salmonella strike.
Maybe they mean if you touch water that turtles have been in a lot.
Yeah, if you're
Okay.
cleaning their cages or stuff like that, or putting stuff in there.
So this happens to be the Humane Society of the United States, and the heading is where to go. You don't have to touch the turtle to get sick. That's what's in the bold blue color. And then in the kind of lightish gray blends into the background lettering, it's you don't have to touch the turtle to get sick because salmonella can live on surfaces.
Yeah.
2006 study published by blah 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 blah. Infants aren't likely to handle reptiles, but they're still going to die if a turtle is anywhere within 10 miles.
I'm reading this, and it's talking about, this is on the FDA's website. And it says, who's at risk for salmonella infection, blah, 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 blah. And if children come in contact with small turtles becoming ill, it says, even if the small turtle doesn't look sick, it may still carry salmonella that can make young children sick. And unfortunately, children will unknowingly infect themselves, Bodhi says. Kids have a tendency to put the small turtles in their mouths.
So true.
Or play in the turtle habitat and then put their fingers in their mouths. Okay, the latter one I get, but really?
So true, dude.
I will say,
I know little kids will stick a lot of things in their mouths, but who would just put a whole live turtle in there?
I will say, my son, even at 15 years of age, I would turn around and he'd be chewing on a subway railing.
Just cramming turtles.
And you're just what?
Their fist into his mouth.
Didn't let him get it out of his system when he was little, and that's what you get.
It's not like he... what? Come on, a subway railing. You're I can't... you could just run your tongue across the bathroom floor. But
what you gotta hope is that he gets enough of different bacteria that they all fight each other instead of him. There's so many they just cancel each other out.
It's the Mr. Burns crowded gate syndrome where the viruses can't all get in and out at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I say this, of course, as somebody who has let my rats stick their heads in my mouth. So, but rats don't carry salmonella, so it's fine.
Just the bubonic plague.
Okay, first of all, it's not the rats; it was the fleas on the rats. The rats themselves were innocent in the situation. It was the fleas that had the plague. Second of all, you not get bubonic plague from pet rats. Thank you very much.
I know, I've had pet rats.
They're adorable, and they will clean your teeth for you.
I'm sure the
My
little
test-
kids have reasons for the turtles in their mouths too, if they could just articulate them.
Yeah, they probably heard someone say something rats will clean your teeth. Does turtles mean I don't have to brush?
They would be able to articulate them, but they have a turtle in their mouth.
Exactly. It's a little hard to...
But, fun fact, what you can get bubonic plague from in the United States is prairie dogs.
I feel like I've heard
Prairie
that.
dogs, yes.
You can also
tried to wipe them out with the bubonic plague. Didn't work.
You can also get leprosy from armadillos.
Yes, also true.
Wait, I
Also
thought
very
leprosy
true.
wasn't contagious.
It's not from humans.
I don't know. Yeah, but if you something about their outer on their shell or whatever, but yeah, armadillos you can they can have leprosy on them, and you can if you touch them.
Google, answer me a question, because I thought. Now, of course, my research into leprosy was entirely done by reading a sci-fi / fantasy book.
Fair.
In case the main character had a form of leprosy. But
I mean, when I put
all right, so
when I
here
type
you're laughing, but I'm gonna
armadillo-
say
I
at
type armadillo
least
into
half
Chrome.
of the dorks know who Thomas Covenant, the Unbeliever, is. All right,
when I type armadillo into Chrome, literally the second autocomplete is armadillo leprosy.
Really?
Shun the
Yep.
non-believer.
To be fair, that could just mean it's a common myth.
No, I know,
fair.
but
I think it's true. But
how this is from the Smithsonian Mag. It says how armadillos can spread leprosy. These tank-like creatures are the only animals besides us known to carry leprosy. Last week, officials in Eastern Florida announced the emergence of 3 new cases of leprosy, an ancient, highly stigmatized disease once handled by isolation in the last 5 months. This is from 2015. And 2 of those cases have been linked with contact to the armored, strangely cute critter endemic to the American South, the armadillo. Armadillos are the only... Huh?
I didn't know Florida had armadillos.
Probably like Northwest Florida.
They double the speed bumps.
Yeah, basically. Armadillos are the only other animals besides humans who can host the leprosy bacillus. In 2011, the New England Journal of Medicine published an article formally linking the creature to human leprosy cases. People and armadillos tested in the study both shared the exact same strain of the disease.
So here's the curious thing. MedicineNet.com, which I super trust because they have both the net and .com.
They were just waiting to buy up so they could make it .org.gov.
I totally trust this site, but using this awesome site, I see leprosy is contagious, but it's considered mildly so.
Well, it says
months to years of contact with an untreated individual to get the disease. How snugly were they with these armadillos?
Well, it says, so what's so unique about the armadillos makes them good carriers? Likely a combination of body temperature and the fragile nature of the disease. As the New York Times reports, leprosy is, quote, a wimp of a pathogen. It is so fragile that it dies quickly outside of the body and is notoriously difficult to grow in lab conditions. But with a body temperature of just 90 degrees, one hypothesis suggests the armadillo presents a kind of Goldilocks condition for the disease. Not too hot, not too cold. Bacterial transmission to people can occur when we handle or eat the animal. If you start worrying about epidemics or making armadillo eradication plans, find comfort in this thought. Though Hansen's disease, as it's clinically known, annually affects 250,000 people worldwide, it only infects about 150 to 250 Americans. Screw the rest of the world, we're okay. Even more reassured.
150 to 200 Americans. And of those 150 to 200, which is super tiny.
And even
some have been associated with armadillos.
And even still, even more reassuring.
Love a thing?
Even more reassuring. Well, there are people who do like taxidermy on them and shit. Even more reassuring.
How many?
I don't know. Up to 95% of the population is genetically unsusceptible to contracting it, and these days it is also highly treatable and not nearly as contagious as once believed. As for the armadillos, the risk of transmission to humans is low. Only the 9-banded armadillo is known to carry the disease, and most people in the U.S. who come down with the chronic bacterial disease get it from other people while traveling outside the country. And it looks like the armadillos are the real victims here because scientists believe that we actually transmitted it to them about 400 to 500 years ago.
Get fucked, armadillos! Eat it!
Up to 20% of some armadillo populations are now thought to be infected. At least according to one researcher at the National Hansen's Disease Program in Baton Rouge, the critters rarely live long enough to be seriously affected by its symptoms. Experts say the easiest way to avoid contagion is simply to avoid unnecessary contact with the critters. And of course, they advise not to go hunting, skinning, or eating them, which is a rule the armadillos would probably appreciate too.
They taste like chicken.
Apparently, we don't actually know how you get leprosy 100%. Like, we have ideas, but we don't know for sure, which I think is interesting because it's like a super old disease.
Yep.
And usually we know these things, but we don't know for sure. We just know if you hang around people with leprosy long enough, you'll eventually get it.
Yeah.
Probably.
See?
Also,
I learned that for my fantasy book.
Also, armadillos.
And armadillos.
But only the 9-banded.
Only the 9-banded.
None of those fucking 8 or 7-banded armadillos. They're cool.
Other ones you're fine. Just shun the 9s.
But wait a second. If they got leprosy, like one of the bands could fall off and they'd be in disguise.
Oh, no.
You could think you're chilling with an 8-banded, but it's really a leprosy that's lost a band.
As it said, they rarely live long enough to actually succumb to symptoms of the disease. And that's not how leprosy works. It doesn't make your body parts fall off.
It's a leprosy. She's flies.
What?
Oh, Sid.
Still one of the best clips. I don't know what to tell you.
So that's been all for tonight's leprosy chat.
There we go.
Hope you all learned something today. Don't cuddle those 9-banded armadillos.
Next week, Zika virus.
Zika.
Don't cuddle 9-banded armadillos. Don't put turtles in your mouth.
True. That's a Sean guarantee right there. Don't put turtles in your mouth.
Important fun fact.
Yep. Next week, we address the important topic of mosquito versus mosquito.
It's mosquito.
It's mosquito.
You're wrong.
It's Skeeter. Get it right.
No, Skeeter is Doug Funny's best friend. Kyle.
Wait,
Don't
Skeeter's
talk
who?
about Doug.
No. Skeeter was Scooter's sister on Muppet Babies.
That's where I was going. I was a Muppet Babies kids.
Maybe you olds think that, but Kyle and I are
Look,
the generation
okay.
that know about
Wow.
Doug Funny.
Wow. You olds.
That's what you get
Fuck
for
off.
being in contact with fucking McCree and not attacking him for me.
Okay, look, I'm sorry. Like, at my closest, I was like, about 10, 15 feet away from him, and I'm sorry I did not tackle him, but I did not want to
That's
get dragged
tackle
out of the...
range, Rob.
It was, but I did not want to get dragged out of the convention center, and like I said, if I had tackled him, it would have been for me and not for you.
But if you would hug real close, he'd get dragged out with you.
I mean,
So
I am bigger than him. I could make a grapple check on him.
Gotta wrap him up,
But
man.
he can do that. He can do that roll. And you get
Oh,
away
the only
from it.
problem though is well, I mean, before they went in, it would have been good. Once I was inside the place though, Joe Manganello was nearby, and he probably could have pried me off.
He's a big man.
I mean, yeah, I outweigh him, but I think he's like an inch or two taller than me.
Yeah.
So it would have been a problem.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll just call you an old.
Wow. Okay, fine.
If it makes you feel any better, I had a moment where I realized I was getting old because I was watching a baseball game and the pitcher was younger than me
I mean,
by a substantial margin.
I don't think
Okay,
that's really saying
so
much because they
just
kind of
so you
get them right out of
When the
college.
coach is younger than you.
Right. I didn't say I was really old, Casey. I
Aha.
said I was getting old.
The pitcher's younger than you. I'll kick you in the
I realized it when I was first starting to work with kids and some of their slang and stuff, and I'm just like, I've hit that point. I don't know what they're talking about anymore.
It happened to me recently with Kahoot. I don't know what that is.
Kahoot? That's like
Yeah.
ancient.
See?
Well, I don't know what's
Wait,
the
wait, what
context
word?
it was used in.
It's
Kahoot?
like a social media thing. Yeah, not the word as in like in cahoots with
Oh,
somebody.
okay.
Like
I was like,
Kahoot.
how do you...
Kahoot as in like
Is there a program called that?
Learning games? You mean like
Yeah.
the...
I literally
they're used in schools a lot.
I've
yeah.
never heard of that.
Okay, but there's like 1,000 of them. That doesn't... That's...
Right, but it's like a common thing amongst the young people, and I don't know it. It's
How young are you talking here?
like people who are currently in high school.
I don't know. I thought they were all about the Snapchat and the Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah. Snapchat's even getting a little blasé to that.
That's true. It is. I think that one is on its way out. I don't know what the replacement for that is.
I'm fairly certain you know you're old when you put the word the when you put
Oh,
the article in there.
Nah. That's
When you're like,
that's
the
a
Snapchat.
that's a
You're
deliberate
like,
construction.
done.
That's like you kids today with the hula hoops and the fax machines.
Exactly. The moment you find yourself doing that, unintentionally, unironically, apparently is a phrase, which I just want to kill people when I hear that one. I unironically like this thing. Okay, so
that's-
you like it.
Yeah, but see, the problem with that is a few years ago, irony poisoning became a real issue. So
Yeah,
Really?
you actually liked something that was uncool.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, being sincere about liking a thing was not cool. So they had to deliberately make a a point to point out that no, I actually unironically enjoy this, because otherwise, But that's the thing, though. Now the new sincerity is coming back around, where it's okay to be sincere, but because we just came out of irony poisoning, you still have to point out that you are being sincere.
Is that what this
It's not
new generation
correct.
is called? The new sincerity?
I don't know.
Band name though. Seems like it would be like in direct confliction with like what's the one, the big emo one in the mid-aughts. What was their name?
The new pornographers?
No.
Half of the music on MTV?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Oh.
Bands?
Yeah,
Linkin
like
Park?
the really, really big, like emo style. Not Linkin Park, no.
My Chemical Romance?
My Chemical Romance.
Okay.
Thank you. That seems like who the new sincerity would be competing. That's their genre of music. That's what I'm saying.
So wait, you put My Chemical Romance is bigger than Linkin Park, or do you?
No,
consider
no.
Linkin
I said
Park
as in like
screamo?
an emo
Oh my God.
band, as in that scene.
Well, I think that's
Linkin
making me
Park
think
is
of
not in
because
the emo scene.
well, there was a band called A Newfound Glory.
Ooh, Newfound Glory.
Yeah.
Let's move this back.
AFI.
Oh God, AFI is different. They went through weird phases. Like they started off as like punk, and then tried to get like kind of goth punky, and then became something else altogether. I don't even know what they're doing now.
If you want to hear something odd, Kill for Candy has the lead singer from AFI in it, and it's actually a weirdly good sound.
Okay. I've not heard of that side project. I know that him and I think the guitar player had a side project called Black Audio that was kind of trying to be vaguely like new wavy, but not really.
From what I understand, Kill for Candy is, I think, the backing backing band from possibly No Doubt, and then AFI's lead singer, and unfortunately my brain just short-circuited.
On what?
So I'm not sure if I'm 100% on if it's No Doubt or something like it.
I'm looking it up right now. There's a song called Kill for Candy, but that's not probably... Oh, no, but that's...
Dream Car.
Yep. And you do seem to be correct there. It is indeed No Doubt with Davey Havoc. Yep.
Sorry, yeah, I reversed that.
Yeah. It's No Doubt minus Gwen Stefani plus Davey Havoc.
Yep.
All right, I am going to turn off the stream.
We've gone downhill
need
now.
to know.
Remember, Zeger Fire is next week. Bye-bye.
Zeger!
Yay!